Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live. I'm Tracy Shuchart, Senior Economist, and here's what happened while we were away. We did have a 30-year auction today. The recent rise in long-term yields made that auction especially important. Yields had moved higher leading up to the auction, which helped attract stronger demand. The bonds were sold at a yield of 5.058%, slightly below where they were trading just before the auction, indicating solid interest. While overall demand, the to-cover ratio of 2.44 was only modestly above average. Foreign and institutional, which are indirects, took a large share at 77.7%, the highest since October 2024. Overall, the results kind of suggest that investors are finding current long-term yield levels attractive. They showed it. They're over 5%. And in coffee and cocoa have gone wild today. Yes. Cocoa and coffee futures surged again today as a wave of volatility continued to grip the agricultural markets, with traders weighing weather risk associated with the strong El Nino. Cocoa swung from solid gains to a loss before rallying again. The front-end contracts in both New York and London markets reaching their highest intraday level since November. Arabica coffee, meanwhile, jumped as much as 12%, continuing a wild week where the market whipsawed from the biggest one-day gain in 26 years on Monday to steep declines over the next 2 days. Crazy markets to be traded. I don't know. Check out those markets, guys. Poland, I talk a lot about the fundamentals underlying gold, saying we've seen central banks being buyers of gold market. I've talked about Poland a lot. Well, Poland has bought 82 tons of gold so far this year. That means the bank has accumulated another 37 tons since the last official data was released in April. That's a lot of gold. An amount worth approximately $5 billion that they have recently bought since April. The bank now holds 632 tons of gold. Their goal is to accumulate 700 tons of gold. Their central bank said this isn't some kind of race or a purchase merely made for the sake of it. There's a deep sense in the state's role of ensuring the security of Poland and Poles under all circumstances, including wartime, which is not what we're expecting. So just very interesting. We had the China numbers a couple of weeks ago, Poland numbers today, a lot of gold buying. In the AI frenzy, we have Zuckerberg unveiling its latest version of its most advanced artificial intelligence model called Muse Spark 1.1. It now includes a paid tier for developer. This marks the first time Meta has charged businesses to access its models, providing a new revenue stream. It'll be among the most affordable options on the market, Zuckerberg said in an interview ahead of its release. And then, not to be left out, we've got OpenAI is introducing a new artificial intelligence agent that is meant to field a wider range of complex tasks for hours at a time, bolstering its push to appeal to more business professionals. The tool called ChatGPT Work is designed to help create documents, spreadsheets, presentation, web applications, and it is powered by GPT 5.6, the company's latest AI model that will be released today. And then finally, I wanted to point out really quickly, because real yields are nearing 3%. Now, there is a chance that this could hurt equities in long term. I'm not saying today, obviously, we are rallying, but we haven't really seen real yields at 3% in long-term bonds in 20 years. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because higher real yields make it safer assets like government bonds more attractive compared to stocks. And we've seen this before in the late 1990s. Rising real yields hurt tech stocks that depended on future growth. Then again, in the mid-2000s, higher yields helped bring an end to the housing boom. So Similarly, a risk might be building now as AI-driven boom relies heavily on future earnings and significant investment. Even though chip makers are expected to generate very strong cash flow, peaking around $1 trillion next year, that could mark a high point, just something to keep an eye on. And if you don't know what real yields are, nominal yields is what we quote what the 5.058% in the 30-year right now. That's the nominal yield. The real yield is the inflation-adjusted return, and so that makes a difference. And higher real yields, of course, are viewed as bad because they make safe haven assets more attractive relative to equities. And with that, I will pass it to Jim for an Edge report.
Thank you, Tracy. Well, today's flip of opposite of yesterday. Everything was red except energies yesterday. Everything is green except energies today. So let's check out what's going on here. Treasury bonds, Tracy just mentioned the auction. This is a daily candle chart, and this was kind of a surprise to me. We've had this really, I'm going to use the word caustic sell-off ever since the end of June. And today we have a pop-up higher. We have a bullish engulfing candle in the works. We've established a nice low here. And that's the previous month's low, by the way. That's that yellow line here. And I will put, by the way, I do have some lines on my chart right now, and we do have it posted on NinjaTrader. I'll put the link in the chat. Mike Burke gave me the thumbs up to do that. I have it on my desk, so hang tight. I will get that to you guys if you're interested. If you're using the desktop, super handy, and you could kind of add or subtract whatever levels you want. In any event, so this was kind of a surprise to me. Now, this is my key box over here on the left. This one right here, 111.11. We're trading above it right now. That's a pivotal level for me, and also for PAX. So we'll keep our eye on that. And then the RSI maybe is supposed to cross over the signal line or not. Way too early to tell. Intraday, we had this doji right here at 1 o'clock. This is the candle completed at 1 o'clock. Boom, the auction results were released or happened, and then we got a continuation pop. So this market was kind of anticipated events ahead of time. We broke out of that initial balance high right there at 09, and we kept going leading into the event. R1, forget about it. JAX1, forget about it. Previous sessions highs, we're at it right now. That's 111.17. So no really major retracement yet. One day max we haven't hit yet at 111.20, but the day is still young. If we go a little bit higher, R2 is up here at 111.26. So a couple of targets on the upside. Alternatively, from a retracement point of view, if you just think about R1 and 14, and then the upper standard deviation band of the VWAP, or for those of you who follow Stowe, the VWAP is at 111.12 seconds. So look and see if we can get a retracement back down to there. The official point of control is pretty healthy right now at 06, but we haven't traded there in a long period of time. Last time we traded there, as a matter of fact, was at 11 o'clock. So it'll be kind of interesting to get there. I don't think we're going to, but you never know. Let's shoot over to, and again, I would be remiss not to talk about the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is also, healthy today. It's fighting back. We're doing pretty good. Let's take a peek here. Let me open up this chart a little bit better here. It's a daily candle chart again. Popped above the rotation zone right now. We're at 63,595. So this kind of looks a little bit like the bottom of the gold chart. If you remember when we were looking at the gold chart earlier, we had these several days worth of support here. In this case, on the Bitcoin, it was at 58,000-ish, 58, almost 59,000. And we kind of rallied off back into the value area to the -1 zone, if you will. This 8 EMA and the 21 EMA were both rocketed above those right now, and not by a lot, but a little bit. And we're looking at that 23.6% fib retracement, how I have my fib drawn high to low. 38.1% is right by that VWAP. So again, a continuation rally here could easily get us to 67. We'll just round up to 67,500. Intraday on the Bitcoin. Well, It's a capital P-shaped distribution, kind of, more or less. I'm going to call it that. It's pretty good. Value area is situated a lot higher after this tail below it. These are these volume histogram bars on the left-hand side. Point of controls, yeah, it's a little sus because there's a lot of there's a lot of noise in the value area, to be honest with you. But it's a nice value area. Official point of control is at 63,105. We're breaking some ground right here. Jack's 1, we just crashed through it. R1, we wicked through it. And then that one-day max at 63,800 is right above it. Continuation can get us to previous session's highs is 63,940. Alternatively, keep your eye on that first upper standard deviation band right now. We have just launched off it in this latest 30-minute candle. That's this afternoon's Edge Report, and we are ready to trade the close. Well, you never know who's going to show up at the Trade to Close segment.
Indeed.
As scheduled, Christian and Xyzeee from the West Coast. And then Leo is not here. We have Stowe instead.
It's
Good
me.
afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Stowe and his cat.
There we go. What's up, guys?
Good to see you guys. Appreciate you being here as usual. Let's go around the horn, see what we're thinking this afternoon, see if we're going to get some a little bit of love here. Stowe, what do you think?
NQ has entered into total bid from hell mode. I don't know if anybody was watching I don't know, this is probably the 30-year at 1 o'clock. But before that, we were grinding into this 910, 915 area. It was just relentless passive offer. And once this let go, there were 500 lots every 10 points on the way up and just zero retracement. And now all of that volume is serving as a single print. So I don't know. I've just been scalping lean long against it. Bid from hell mode is basically like wait for a really violent liquidation break to end and buy a retrace of that. So until further notice, I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to buy all the way up here.
So refresh everybody's memory. When do you know the liquidation is over?
Well, for me, I see, I see bid step in. It ends at a place. I mean, we retrace back to all this buying that hadn't been touched since we rocketed through it. Also, my Delta Map study helps me with this. It's got absorption indicators. You can see absorption on the DOM. And then also when this flips from hot red back to a neutral color, that's helpful too. So,
all right, very.
I'm
awesome.
not looking for much more, but I might as well scalp it while it's doing the thing that I'm best at. So that's my plan up here.
All right, and then one more question. Now that you said that, when you say scalping, what are you looking for in terms of distance?
I'd say, well, we're gonna get into a tight consolidation right here. Maybe get to 30K. Maybe get to 7,600 today. That's the other thing on ES. They've been stacking offers the whole way up and just pulling price. It feels like a magnet today. So, and they're still doing it. So until I see that activity stop, I'm going to keep pressing into it. I don't know where they want to close it. Could be here. Could be 900. I don't know.
All right. Christian, trading boxes. How are you, my friend? What are you thinking?
I'm doing well. So I did short that 910s area in the morning that Stowe brought up. I closed it at the lows or the last runners. And then for my other day trading strategy, the IB strat, I got long at 783. I took partials at 2R and I'm holding the rest to see if we go to 4 and 6R.
Wonderful.
But this is a daily reversal that we're seeing. We tested support of the multi-week range that we've been in. We had a failed breakdown down here into the 29,000 area, and we're seeing a big reversal back up. So my idea today was to look for longs on a hold of 450s, 460s, and we can see that we consolidated there overnight. We broke out, and ever since then, because of my idea that we're bouncing from a weekly support area, that we're moving up into the weekly now resistance area, and this is the participation into that or the push into that area. And so my trading has aligned with that. And I've been focused on longs after a good short. So I'm just going to keep holding this long and see if we can reach for our targets at 30,027 and continue holding that.
Very awesome. XYZ. By the way, we're going to be spending a lot of time together, everybody.
Yeah.
When the bell rings this afternoon, do not get out of your seat.
Yep.
XYZ is doing a Develop Your Edge segment, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock East Coast time. And we're going to take as many questions as we can. So if you're able to get in the chat, even if you've never been there, try to get in there with some questions. And we're gonna it's open mic, man. So definitely get in there. In any event, XY, what are you thinking right now?
For me, nothing. Missed the whole thing. I just turned on my charts not too long ago for the stream, and for me, it's longs or nothing. And I can't buy this. There's no access for me. ATR has been shrinking, so it's really small now. 8 points NQ, which is really tiny. You do have to consider how much edge you really have, because your risk to reward does get skewed pretty negatively in these environments. So I had to have been long sooner, especially seeing what happened yesterday and then overnight. They're holding where they need to. I was on another stream yesterday, and I did mention this volume. This was pretty much above and below. This is the key. This is the biggest node on the move down, which means there's a lot of bid and the offer. So they held it for a few times, but if they're going to start trading above this now, things are definitely changing, especially after a failed low like this. And they just kept moving it up, and it's headed towards the next decision area. It's pretty bullish, honestly. But yeah, I can't fade this. I don't want to buy up here. The only thing that might get me interested is if pace really does pick up, the ATR expands, and we trade back under, we'll say 29,900, and show an offer that's willing to chase the tape down. I don't foresee that happening. So yeah, that's my take. I don't think there's anything for me at this point.
Yeah, you said something a little nuanced that was very important that I caught. I don't know if everybody caught it, but the concept of missing an entry for whatever reason, maybe you're not at your computer, or maybe you missed it, who knows, and then seeing the opportunity and then thinking, oh, well, it's going to continue going the way I thought it was going to be originally, so I'm going to get in now, right after the fact. Well, when you said the risk-reward ratio now is screwed, therefore I didn't do it, that's an important second component of the whole idea of getting in after you miss something, right? Where's the risk-reward ratio? And you're not seeing it there, so you kept your hands in your pocket. I think that's a nuance that a lot of people, especially a young Jim Cagnina, didn't really understand.
Yeah. Risk is everything. Where you get in, what you have to risk. Yeah. What I would have to risk here would be so different. Like, sure, I can get in long here. Let me put my cursor. Get in long here and risk this low volume spot. But what sucks is, even if it comes down, tags me out, the idea is not invalidated. So now I'm forced to take multiple stabs at it to try to get the idea to be profitable, and it doesn't make sense anymore. So sometimes you just got to let it go.
Yeah. Very, very awesome. All right, you guys. Appreciate you as usual. Folks, don't forget, stick around at 4 o'clock. We're going to have a lot of fun, covering a lot of ground also. In the meantime, I'm going to wish these guys the best of luck on any trades they do make, or maybe they don't make one, but best of luck, you guys. And I'm going to dip into the chat.
Thanks, Jim.
Take care, Jim.
Gentlemen.
Hello.
How you doing?
We meet again.
Yeah, I'm excited. Bonus stream today.
A little extra, you know.
A little extra.
Nothing too crazy. Yeah, we had questions were flooding in last time, and I just couldn't get to it. So hopefully this time we can finally get around to it. Whoever had any questions last time, you can fire it off. I'll do a little bit of, when it starts, a little bit of an intro and go over some things that have taken place through the week, and then we'll just go straight to the questions.
I was thinking about you last night, this morning. I was thinking about that box you were drawing last night. I was like, hey, here we go.
Good box, huh? Good box, huh?
Well, I like
being on the other side.
I like being on the other side.
Can't
of it.
lie. Pretty good box.
Good bucks.
Yeah, whoever was on last night, you got a little some, and you made money if you followed it.
XY, I'm so sad that you missed this crazy ass order flow though.
Which
It was
what
it was
happened?
nuts. 1 o'clock must have been the bond auction, but we were grinding back up against this 910 spot, refusing to take the IB high in NQ. I must have been sitting in this trade for a majority of my adult life, and right at 1 o'clock, we went up. We broke 910 and then just cruised up and filled like 500 lots at a time in like a matter of like a minute and a half.
Oh, I
It
saw
was
your tweet. That was that?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
That
it
was that?
just like it was piss missile and grinding at the same time. It was crazy. It was cool.
Honestly, like you said that you felt like you're in the trade for most of your life. I think if anyone's in a trade today, you're sitting in it for most of your life.
Yeah.
Even if you're waiting to get stopped out. It's just really, really slow. But I mean, this is the kind of tape you want to see if you're long.
Yep.
It's like you want to see it, but you don't. You don't want to see it because it's painful, but you want to because this is what a grind up looks like. This is what a market that's not going to go down looks like. It's just really slow, grindy, slow tape. Painful, but it's what it takes.
I like it. The slower, the better.
For up moves, yeah, actually.
Yeah. Just
Slower
put
the
on the
better.
trade in the morning and then just sit there. I haven't been in my trade since 7:30, well, my time, our time,
Oh,
10:30
since
a.m.
IB
Yeah.
got set.
That was the most interesting part about that sequence is like it went as fast as it could go without it being a squeeze. Like it was right as fast as it could go without it being like scary fast. I shouldn't touch this thing. It was cool.
Well, I mean, if there's like 500 lots, a couple hundred lots every what, 5 points or so, it can only be so fast. Taking
Yeah.
in
It was
thousands of NQ
it was rad.
lots.
Maybe I'll ask you to do a replay on it and we can all watch it together on next Wednesday.
Yeah, that's kind of insane. And the fact that, they filled it does mean something. Filled it and continued higher.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know who looks at daily candles, but it's doing that thing. It's that 3 bar reversal. The 4 hour is even crazier. So I think the 4 hour gave a lot of clues yesterday. And then it's doing the same thing today. It's honestly really bullish looking on the higher time frames. Obviously, this is a swing point here. So you could get an offer, you could stall, and close here for the day, but overall, it doesn't seem weak. Not one bit. Not yet, at least. Tape is so heavy on ES. If it squeeze would be nice. Yeah. Even on NQ, you do see the selling's coming in. It's
Yep.
been coming in up here, and
They're gonna get me on these.
I don't have
Which is
a
okay. I've
higher
been
time frame
scalping this
ES
for
chart up
forever.
though. So ES high time frame, I have no idea where we are.
All I know is above 71. That was my spot. 71.25. Above 71.25. It was party time excellent. And it did not disappoint.
ES has like no excess at the highs.
No.
What does
And
that
they-
mean? Is that good or bad?
Good,
It's good for you.
more upside. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Let's see if we can get this closed and get back in.
Took 3 losses in the morning, called the day. If I would have continued, I would have taken a long. That would get me back to even. Oh yeah, that happens a lot. If you stay in the day and kept trading after DLL, you get back to even. Happens all the time. What happens even more often is you don't have an account left. So something to always consider. Sometimes you'll get it back to even. Most times you won't have an account left.
Pro tip from someone who has done it plenty. If you're having a bad day because you lost money, don't make your day worse by hindsighting the what if of what if I did not lose money today. So it's better just to be like, okay, cool. I did my process. I did my thing.
I always pack it in as an added lesson, like to the proof of concept. So if I deal out early and then later on I see like, oh, if I waited for this and this, I tally it to the, hey, this is why you should be patient, part 565. And eventually it's just like, how about I just be fucking patient?
Yeah.
At this point, like if you've been trading long enough, you get the vibes where some trades you're just like, I think it's a decent trade. It's a trade, it's the strategy. But some trades you're just like, I think this is really good. There is a different feeling to it. And eventually I learned, hey, these are the ones when they come, not only do you take them, but you try to get in some leverage in there, and swing the bat a little harder. But pay very close attention to your trades every day as they come, how they feel. We all have this intuitive like thing where you definitely get some vibes where it's like, honestly, this is a really good opportunity that's cooking up right now. And most of the times it's not there. Most of the times like, this is a decent trade. It's a good trade. But sometimes it's like, this is a really good trade. And it's important to be patient enough for those. Not only do you lose less money, it's kind of like a long-term risk reward. The good opportunities will skew your equity curve, risk reward, everything way more. I guess it'll be more parabolic than what it would be if you're just taking trades after trades after trades. Because anyone can make the money. Keeping it's a whole different thing. That's where everyone struggles and ends up being that 95 percentile statistic of failure.
Yeah.
It's the keeping it part. It's not the making it part.
Get this 55 guy.
Good vape. You can you can do both. For this strategy, the IB strat, I have almost everything automated except my execution. That's manual. You can see I have this indicator here that plots my entry, my stop, my R targets. I have this other position sizing indicator that I created that tells me how many contracts I need for the dollar risk that I'm risking. I'm risking 3% of my account per trade. That's currently around 1150. And it calculates everything for me. The strategy, the parameters I created, it's all systematic. So I just have to wait for those for the setup to show up, the rules of engagement to trigger, and then me execute. So everything outside of my manual execution is automated. I don't have to think much about it. I just have to be there when it's triggering. I set alarms. If I look to engage inside the IB. So if we're below the IB, I'll put an alarm so I can get notified that price is getting back inside the IB. So then I can look for the setup. But you totally can. I have this trade on. I've been in it all day. I have OCO orders for my stop for 4R, 6R. So I literally don't have to look at this for the rest of the day. Like everything's taken care of. The Asia IB trades that I do the same. Place the orders, go live my life. And you can. It's just, it's you just have to create a better process, not only a trading process, but the process to help you build a sustainable foundation to allow you to be the trader that you want to be.
Where can I learn volume by price analysis like XYZ? It's funny you ask. Stick around after the close.
Dominic, where have you been?
For a whole hour.
Where have you been for the last few months with your YouTube, your videos?
Actually, yeah. I've done so much. Even yesterday, I've done so much.
Maybe
I have
he's
a
looking for
playbook that's been out there.
Like XYZ, not XYZ exactly. Someone close to XYZ.
But I don't want to see the exact stuff.
Listen, don't play yourself. He can't be replicated.
How do you guys handle distractions? What do you mean
Tell
by
him to stop
distractions? Like, what,
distracting.
yeah,
XY,
what are we
stop
talking?
distracting me. Like that.
Just start poking Chris as he's trying to trade. Yeah, what do you mean by that? I mean, I think Stowe built a whole thing um, based around that, a whole journaling
I
program
did.
based around distractions. So
Yeah, that well it's good to be honest with yourself like if you have distractions coming in the day cuz oftentimes you'll be like, "Yeah, I've got a doctor's appointment, but I'm just going to trade until then." And then you find yourself on like a weird stopwatch that shouldn't exist. And you're like, "Well, I should probably try to wrap up this trade before I go to blah blah blah." Um and yeah, so part of vibe check is it just I'm gonna take one. Okay. Am I gonna take one right there? You gonna kick off this 66 guy? Sorry, I'm trying to answer this question and be annoyed at this seller continuing to step in at the
Hey,
same
see,
time.
don't get distracted.
I know, right? I'm
distracted.
distracted. One way I
Perfect.
handle distractions is by ignoring the chat. No, yeah, in Vibe Check, one of the things that it asks you in the morning time is do you have any, external factors coming into play that day? Do you have somebody to come fix your sink? Do you have to take your kid to a dentist appointment? That sort of thing. So it's good to log those.
Dude, I mean, right now I'm so strict about my schedule and like distractions, but I don't know how strict I can be when you have a family and you have a child and you're like, God, like
Yeah. They
I
will
I
just not
imagine it's
care.
different.
They will barge in with whatever they need
Oh,
at any
dude.
point.
Chris, Willow was never supposed to be on this show. She's not supposed to come in. I told Willow when I started doing this, like, hey, I got to work in there. I don't want you to be on YouTube. And now
He's
she's
like,
been
"What?
on
You're
like
on YouTube?"
yeah. The way I messed up because I said, I don't want you to do this. Don't come in here. You'll be on TV. And she was like, oh,
I
yeah.
can be on TV if I just come in there.
But I mean, like, she runs the show. Yesterday, she was like, I really don't want to go to cheer. Can we just go fishing? And I was like, you really need to go to cheer. I lost that battle in like, I don't know, 35 seconds. I was like, all right, let's go get some worms.
Shap, I won't add because this strategy is very specific to the rules, but maybe on my other account, I would buy the IB high back test. I like that idea. What is the smallest cash account size that I've grown over time? Probably 5 grand with this strategy. Well, other than when I started trading many, many years ago, but recently this strategy, put 5 grand in there, it's up almost 500%.
That's pretty good.
It's
Yeah,
not bad.
should have started with 50.
Not bad. It's all right.
Not
You'll
bad.
live with that, I
Not
guess.
bad.
Decent. I can't say it sucks, but
I've seen better.
you've been on YouTube and Twitter lately? I've seen better. Oh yeah. We're talking 5 to 5 million. Gyms, yeah, I'm glad you got some good value. I I I think it's important, like when we're trading, there's going to be if it's a higher time frame read, there's a lot of chances to get on board. And it doesn't have to be the fancy bottom tick, top tick entries. There are so many ways to get on board. And it even gets better. I try to emphasize that the best price to me doesn't always mean the best means of access, right? Because to let it develop further, it could also become much better of a trade when more players are set off sides or the market has shown, certain pieces of information that it didn't prior. So there are many ways to get on board with a direction, with a move. And I want to always try to showcase those things because I think it would help people not put themselves in the wrong direction just because they're not in the right direction an hour ago, 30 minutes ago. So I'll keep trying to do that. I'm glad you got some value there.
Crow, how much percent is the IB? The IB strat, I just said it's up close to 500%. I started it in March. $5,000. It's around. Well, I added 15 grand to it, so it's around 38,000 right now.
Well, that's 400% right there that you added. So I mean,
No,
Right.
that was just in the last month. I added 15 grand. But I want to see, how long it'll take to get to 100 grand. And then my goal next year, if it continues to be successful, is, I don't know, can I turn that 100 grand to like 300-400 grand? We'll see. You guys, I'll trade it. I'll continue to trade it live here until
some
Ninja
point-
kicks me.
the white van is gonna come, dude.
Think so?
Yeah,
No, Stowe. It's different this time.
The
It's
lizards
different.
will know.
The white van gave it to him. He was chosen. Mm-hmm,
All right. I didn't know.
And
there
they
was a
said, if you
ceremony.
trade this on live markets, we will come take your family.
That's some
So
inception.
hey, Chris's time could be up soon.
Listen,
Enjoy it while you can, guys.
whether it's markets or my kidney, my time is up.
I think
Yeah,
we're doing
it's
that
coming.
bit here too.
Enjoy it while you can, guys, because White Van said, if you make money off this, we'll kill you.
Listen, if the white van comes and has a cross on it and takes me to the hospital, I think I'll be fine. I'll welcome that white van any day.
Ultimate Q asked me if I can buy 100 lots and stop the selling. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if that would even do it at this point because they're really
Yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
Shapcap, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I try.
Oh, he's there lurking.
I might have to put this scalp back in the box for a little bit.
What's up, Nick?
Looks like we went back to 65 and then kicked off of it. And they're just back. They're backing it down now.
Sellers still have more work to do. I mean, they can sell all they want like they're doing, but they got to get something for it.
Yeah. They didn't do too bad on ES. They at least got into that LVN at 86.
I mean, they've been selling it real harsh for like an hour now almost. It's pretty negative. You know what that means? You know what that means? If they get traded against, you might get 30,300 or something.
What? Today?
My bad. I meant 33,000. Sorry.
Okay.
Some more realistic.
Really, a lot of selling on ES2 from 92 to 89.
Hive day NQ is poor though. Yeah, but the Hive day on ES is even more poor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say high day NQ is a poor high, but ES, yeah, it is lacking. It's lacking. Things are not as they seem. No, I think today it's as they seem again. To yesterday though.
Today is literally as it seems.
Yeah, today is quite as it seems. I would say so. Yesterday was a funny stream, man. Streaming with Salma is always entertaining.
I agree. She better come to my show. I'm trying to hang.
She said she didn't want to come to your show.
I know she did. I don't know why she's so mean to
When
me.
is your show?
She said screw your show.
Everyone's like, be nice to Selma. And I'm like, yeah, do you have any idea how mean Selma is to us? No, you don't. Next Thursday, I'll be in New Jersey. My dog got all weird. Come on, buddy.
What area?
Asbury Park.
Oh, never heard of it.
It's cool. It's like everything that Bruce Springsteen sings a song about in a place.
Oh, they made a song about that city?
Well, it's like that. It's very typical Jersey. What is this? What's going on here? 239. Why is the book getting so weird?
Semis are pulling back a little bit.
Yeah, but I like it there. It's a beach. It's a beach. It's got a boardwalk. It's got all the things.
Dope, dope.
Good morning. Where is Stowe Cat? You want Stowe Cat? You get Chris Puppy.
Stowcat's around.
Dude,
He's
he's
doing
so much
something.
bigger now.
Gonna get me. R.I.P.
What's he looking at? What's he looking at? Up or down? He just wants to chill, man. He just wants to chill. It's like I'm comfy right here. Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
There's another one.
There's two?
There's two.
Yeah, I
That's
have
cool.
two.
What the hell?
Dude, what a wonderful life. Chilling with two puppies.
That's what happens
crazy.
when you get like 6R, 10R. How many dogs you want?
That's why I don't. That's why I just have one grouchy
One-
cat, not two lovely puppies. Is I
One
haven't.
cat that does their best Godzilla impression. Who is it that climbs? No, it's not Godzilla. It's fuck.
Are you talking about from the Godzilla universe?
Yeah, the one that climbs like that. Is it the Empire State Building or something?
That's King Kong.
King
Yeah.
Kong.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, King Kong. His best King Kong impression.
Ooh, the
Oops.
those cat.
This cat's so dumb. I was putting towels away, and like I had the door to the linen closet open. I'm putting towels away, and I didn't realize, but dude had just like stuck his hand in between the door and the thing. So I go to close the door. I close Rusty's hand in it. Not hard. He's fine. Don't worry. But I look down at him and he screams like a human. He's like, ah! And they made me scream like a human. We're quite the pair of dipshits over here.
Does it look like a mini dead body? No, it's not the same. It's not the same setup, no. But same rules
Oh,
apply.
man, stop to the tick.
Same rules apply if it's going to leave this behind and accept this again. It's two things. It's not just that they've lost the effort and are now trading against it. It's that it lies in here. This is the majority distribution that continued this whole leg down to a new swing low. This is the first time back, and if they're not going to put in enough effort and lose this, they'll die. And I'll go over more examples later for the Develop Your Edge. Today, we're going to focus on reversals and what they look like to me when to just get the hell out of the way, what it looks like on volume. So for whoever was asking about volume analysis, we'll dig into it. But yeah, this being left behind at this location will not be good. But I do think they'll catch a bid somewhere. It'll move through, but they'll probably catch another bid somewhere and continue higher because I think the market is now a lot stronger than it was during this down leg. So you'll make money on shorts probably, but you make more money on the longs wherever they catch it. Yep, glad it helps. What strategy is that? I don't know. I don't have a fancy name for my. I don't name everything.
Yeah, what's going on with Amazon?
What's my
It's
biggest
just-
distraction? My own thoughts and emotions? Oh my gosh. Chat, you're getting real right now.
Is that where the poll went?
That's where the poll 44%, your own thoughts. Your own dumb lizard
Oh,
brain.
I see.
Why are you a loser?
You suck.
It's
As like price is getting closer to stop, you suck. I told you you suck.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you suck. You know what
That's-
everyone says behind your back, all right? They say your trades suck. Your own friends know that you're a fade.
Yep. Now that's actually true for me. So it's fine. It's no big deal. I've made peace with that a long time ago.
I think it's only me. I think I'm the only serial fader you know.
Don't buy. Don't buy.
Don't buy. Dude, that's such a funny bite. Don't buy. Don't buy.
Sometimes the inner voice is it's like it's the mean guy from Happy Gilmore. And like, you will not make this putt. And some
Take a
guys
stop. It's
sometimes
like-
the mean guy is in the chat too at the same time.
Oh yeah. Stowe says he's never shorting again. We're all going to die.
I won't trust me. I'll say that when I'm ready. And I'll
When
make
I'm
sure,
ready?
I make sure everybody knows.
It's like the opposite of you know those newsletters or whatever that's always doom and gloom. Short everything is a short all the time just to
Oh,
get
yeah.
engagement. But it's the opposite because you use it as a long signal.
I can't, yeah, the problem is I can't just do it. It does have to come from like at least a partially real place. So I've tried to fake it and have it work to our advantage, but it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
The engagement hit though.
Yeah.
The owl thing was doing numbers. You even brought it back for a round 2 at some point.
I did trick the algo.
Months down the line, and I was like, just doing numbers again. Do I look at ES 1 hour with volume profiles just in Q? I just have it in Q. It's not that I wouldn't do it on ES. I'm just too lazy to make the chart. But if I had it in hand, yeah, I'd take glances at it because I've been trading ES lately with the crazy range expansions. Sometimes ES just sets it up first, does it cleaner, so I'll do that. Sometimes I've taken trades on ES and NQ. I think last week I had a trade that was both on both. But yeah, I would. 1 hour candles with daily profiles, 5-day rolling, and a 30-day rolling. That's where I would be. I can easily actually convert this NQ chart into an ES, and I think it would all work out. But that's how lazy I am. I simply haven't done it. And I probably won't today. Yeah, Saturday's crazy, right? It's World Cup, and then the fight, UFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Saturday's big sporting day. Big sporting day.
Wait, do we know
Big
who,
sports bet day.
who the final teams are for the World Cup or not yet?
No, there's still like semifinals, I think. And then it's quarter, I don't know. Yeah, it's still I think down to 8. Can I cover gold? Let's take a little glancy glance. Look at this. It's the same friggin' range.
I love gold.
It's the same range.
To the money.
What I
Range
notice
from hell.
instantly is how it follows volume. Let me explain this to you guys. So we had a lot of overlapping volume. And eventually they finally go lower. You would see a lack of interest, and then sustained interest. But what happens to it? They lose it all. So now as volume builds higher, price will continue to follow until it doesn't, and it gets here. This is the highest build, right? And now you see it start to build lower, and then it starts to follow. So much like what I was explaining earlier with NQ, let's look at it again. This right here being the high distribution that led to this, and it's coming back for the first time. Look at what it's putting in. It's putting in this little node, and look what happened on gold, right? So this is the highest one, and it builds under it, sure, but it comes back and it puts in a weaker build, loses it, and starts that leg down. And as it starts to leg down, the volume just continues to build lower until what? Until it doesn't. So now we're looking at this, right? This is the biggest distribution. And now they're building above it. And as they build above it, now they're starting to continue to build above it. So until it changes again, I would lean long side probably to the end of this range. But still, you do have to consider you're kind of in the middle of the range. Is there really any edge here? That's up to you. For a scalp, sure, maybe buy this low volume spot in the 20s, maybe here. But then you look at the day and it's pretty balanced. So not much in gold, but there's an example for you guys of how I use volume. Hope that helps. We'll do some more after the close. Daily trend line it has not broken. I don't use trend lines, so
Yeah, it's doing a much better
I mean, it's
job
pretty.
here.
If you're saying the daily trend line hasn't broken, there's not much more analysis to be made. It's a trend line, and it's either broken or it's not. So, Goyle chart is cleaner. Yeah, Goyle's paywall. Don't ask me about Goyle. I'm not giving free analysis on Goyle.
Can our people use their fun emojis in here? Or is it just for our stuff?
I don't
wonder.
know. I don't know anything
Alright.
about anything.
Me neither. They really got me with that last night. I was like,
People that are
what
asking me
these?
stuff like, "Wait, this guy just said he doesn't know anything about anything."
Check me out in an hour and a half for my Q&A.
Anyways, I'm doing this thing.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Great recap. And yeah, how do you say? Is it the DLY or Thedley or what is it? But he's been
I've been saying Thedley.
he's been talking about that Discord a lot. He's been teasing people,
Does he have
He's a
one?
great recap in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
he been getting people real
Room can confirm.
yeah, room confirm. Yesterday on the stream he was like, "Oh, love the daily streams. Love the the DLY. There it is." Code Goyle, yeah. Code Goyle at any prop charges my bank account for you.
Hey, Nick. What's up, brother?
Guess who?
Yeah, is that from a
Family Guy.
movie?
It's Family Guy.
Oh yeah.
there, muscly throwing up.
I thought it was the guy with the grab my strong hand. Very movie.
Yeah, Nick can confirm room banked on the Goyle move today.
Chris, what does finding acceptance mean to you? Is it a specific candle close, a retest, or something else? Let me touch on that. What is a good example of that today? Here's a small example of that. Acceptance to me is when we hold a resistance area where buyers, there's a strong, negotiation or a fight between buyers and sellers where sellers can no longer push price down. For example, let's go back to that 910s area that Stowe and I were talking about. Big rejection here at the 900s, right? In NQ, rejected back down. Eventually, we moved our way back. We almost took out that high and then rejected. Okay, but the rejection was less violent. We come back up, we digest, and all this ends up becoming acceptance. We're accepting the prior resistance area. Sellers are not able to drive price lower. buyers are stepping up from down here to here on this failed breakdown, and then here once again on the first rejection from here. Okay, let me redo that. Buyers are stepping up from here, here, and here, and as a result, the structural pattern for me of acceptance is a wedging pattern, because that's a consolidation through time. There's no higher highs, higher lows. There's no lower lows, lower highs. We're inside a swing high, a swing low, and we are creating lower highs against that and higher lows against that, right? So that's acceptance to me, where we cannot reject from there again. Now, a thing that I add to my sort of to provide context is the daily trend filter that I follow, which is the daily 9 SMA. At this time here at the breakout, the daily 9 SMA was around 770s down here. So we had a complete flip back above the daily 9 SMA filter, which to me now that says bullish, right? I need to look for higher prices. We formed acceptance. So to me, think of that as a bullish flag in an uptrend, and then look for continuation higher. If we're below the daily 9 SMA, you can imagine that a bounce into resistance has a higher probability of rejecting versus forming acceptance. But that's it right there. That is acceptance 101 for me, and the more classical technical way that I look at price action.
Hi, Horcrux. Horcrux. The internet's so funny, man.
We're filing a reject. We cannot hold. Let's see what happens at IB high of NQ.
Yeah.
We haven't even lost IB high. So there's NES it's outperforming NQ. If we can close up here, that'd be great. I can close my trade up here around 2R. I'll just sit on this.
They flipped a couple times.
What area?
Just ES and NQ leading each other today.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they've been doing it all week. It's been exhausting, honestly.
Yeah, it'll take some time, RH. The way I see it is, if we haven't not formed acceptance at resistance, we're going to reject. Now, that may not happen all the time, but having that understanding has helped me over time not go long at resistance at first test. Because if it's a first test, then you can imagine that we're completing the move into that area. So why would I look for a long there? It's like when they say, oh, look at this failed breakout, but the move happened way below, right? The breakout of the consolidation way below that swing high. Of course, the breakout is going to fail. The trend is already done by the time it gets to that swing high area. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I took 3 shots at it. I don't want to give back too much today. I had a good day. There are a lot of teeth in ES still from that entire move from 70. So 69.75, 77.50, round 81 too. Yeah. I'm just rooting for Chris now. What are you long from, like 9,000 points below? 780, you said?
722.
722?
No, that's my stop. Sorry. 783.
Okay. Let's see what 3 o'clock does. If it does something.
Got a minute. Even this leg to leg delta is really negative.
Yeah.
500 chat says 500 grand or dinner with XY. I think XY will bail on dinner if he found out that you picked him over 500 grand.
Well, where are we having dinner? Are we going somewhere where they also give me
Panda
like
Express.
$449,000?
Panda Express.
Panda? All right, I'll go to Panda with you, dude. Of course.
For $500,000.
Yeah.
2 entree combo only also.
Can I also go to the Dodgers game before they win so that we can get
Oh no, the dinner only takes place once they win.
Okay.
You can't set a schedule on it. Yes, not everyone can trade Goyle. It's an invite-only market. Only people within our Discord can trade it.
Very nasty. Did we get to that? +1? Let me see.
Yeah, see, Joe, you're smart. He says I would take the 500K, then take XY out to Nobu. Yeah.
Mm. Fun little games up here at the weekly open. That's what that was.
Code Coil also works at Nobu, I heard. All right, well, ES has left and NQ has left that upside node. It could pull back and then find a bid overnight somewhere. It's still pretty bullish.
What
Might even
is the
just hold
dark
here.
blue MA line that you have on your 2-minute chart? That is the 50 EMA.
So we're moving up. So that would be like 880. Yeah, XY, do you want to go to that the world's most disgusting bathroom? They have cheeseburgers there. We could take you that. I could take you that Tower Bar place in San Diego if you want to.
I would not trust a damn cheeseburger. I wouldn't trust anything. I wouldn't trust the air that's in there.
I also did not consume a cheeseburger there. I've even I
I
have
can't
my
believe
limits.
you recommended that I go to that
I
place.
just said you should go take a look at it. I didn't say you should go do anything else there. I'm just saying it's
That's
impressive.
bad enough.
It's like the
Hey,
world's biggest ball of yarn.
I want to recommend something to you. I want you to go out here and look at the dirtiest, grungiest, filthiest bathroom ever. That is my recommendation.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of punk rock bar bathrooms, and that one
That's the goat.
takes the cake, dude. It's the goat. It's the goat. There's nothing has honestly come close.
You should actually go on their Yelp and leave a 5-star and be like, beautiful. Like, this is absolutely the nastiest restroom I have ever seen. 5 stars. Would definitely recommend 5 stars.
No, Shap Cap, is that true? Are we not bombing anymore? I didn't think we were anyway. I thought we were, and then we weren't, and then we were again.
Well, he's on the most reputable website out there.
Oh, yeah.
Monitoring the situation.
if they sell it from here after the most ridiculous piss missile to get all those orders filled at 950, 40, and 60, that will be truly diabolical.
I think it's possible.
It's totally possible. Like I
I
see
think
it
it's
now. Yeah.
yeah. They left the whole thing behind.
They
ES
really
doing the
did.
same. Selling hasn't stepped off.
Does that mean we can like overnight or tomorrow go back and take out those highs, and then now those are like the way you guys look at a good sort of, I don't know, excess highs or something like that?
I think NQ is okay.
I
I think
think
that's a fine high.
they could do like a really steep move down from here, but I do think it gets caught at some point, whether it's still within the session or overnight. And tomorrow we're probably seeing higher prices by the open.
Okay.
It's my guess. That's as good as a coin flip, honestly. Yeah.
Chris, for a bit, your bull bear zone was 650s. When or how do you determine that when that zone changes, and usually how long does a bull bear zone's area take to change? So let me show you the 4 hour. I'll show you the 4 hour. All right, here's NQ 4 hour. The bull bear zone is around that 650 area. I would say it's 650 to like 200. And it's usually the exact midpoint area of a large consolidation. And if you take this whole, since when? May 18th, sort of May 15th, let's say May 15th. If you take this whole range up here, probably right here, where's the 50% mark, right? This is around 2,000 points. Halfway is around 1,000 points. So that's a 50% mark. So that's this area, the 650, 750/800 area. Until we leave this range, can we say we're no longer focused on this bull bear zone, right? I mean, it's a perfect interaction here. Bounces to it, rejection, reclaims it, holds it, forms acceptance higher, breaks below it, retests lower, right? So it's a constant interaction with this level. And what did we do today? Well, we tried holding it here the last few days, and then we broke lower, failed breakdown, right back up. So now for tomorrow, you can imagine that I'll be thinking, okay, if we can pull back into that area and hold, then similar to what XY was saying, then tomorrow by the open, we can see higher prices. So I'm going to be looking for that. And if we lose the bull bear zone, then can we come back down here to prior day high, 450, 500? I think XY was also talking about that 500 area, and then bounce, right? But we're just pretty much dancing around this bull bear zone. And until we leave this range, we now focus on a new one after a new range is established, after the new trend ends. Am I going to swing this? No, the strategy says to close it at end of day. Well, yeah, a range is balance. That's all it is. It's right now we're in a multi-week balance, and the 650s to 800 area is the exact midpoint. Would you guys say something like that would be? I think you guys call it point of POI, right? Point of is it interest?
It's point of investigation.
No,
Hold on.
What?
I'm getting to Chris is on to me. I can't even sneak in.
I've
Good
never
ones
investigated in my life. I don't
It's
know.
a point of investigation. Yeah.
Person of color.
I had a really good short, a little higher.
That's like
but
usually the midpoint of bounces, right? I think you guys call those. I mean, I know it's more in volume profile, but it's POI.
Yeah, point of interest for sure. That's just like I just use that for everything though. Like you shouldn't be messing around unless you have like a broader game plan. I'm still looking for 88, 92. I guess it was too much to ask today. It really shut it down. I thought we had legs to get up here. That's why I was trying to buy this, but the seller has told me something else. And now I don't want it anymore. This is like Friday's target up here. 30K 90. I think you're looking for like 93 or something for your 6.
30,027.
Oh, 27. Shit. Okay.
I don't think we'll get it now. Point of capitalism. Yeah, that's what we're trading here.
There's a lot to unwind if they want to. Is this 910 guy gonna win again? If this guy wins, I'm gonna be mad because I have a personal vendetta against this guy.
Wait, but if he does, it goes higher. Isn't that what you want?
No. I meant this seller down here because he's trying.
Oh,
He's trying to put it in.
he's trying to do what now? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I didn't even know I did that one.
What do you mean by that?
Pause. Sorry. Dude, double shift, accidental double shift. I wasn't prepared. I came in here. I spent all my material for 2 hours this morning. I'm telling people to put things in. I don't know what's going on. Oh, just got a text from Shab. Got a second after the show. Yep. Thanks, XY.
What do you mean by that? All right. This is the weekly open, right? My thing is not wrong.
No, 9:30. You got it.
9:30. Okay, cool.
Ish.
Wait, the
Right.
weekly open at 9:30? I have 561, 570 or so. Oh, wait. Are you guys mine? I guess it's counting from Thursday. So
That's weird.
is mine wrong?
Hold on.
You
What?
doing like a rolling week? Which week?
No, because Friday was the market was closed, so it's counting my weekly open at the open of the Globex session on Thursday.
That's a little strange.
I guess because that's when the daily candle formed, right? On Thursday Globex session, then it went into Sunday. Oh,
That's weird.
Interesting. It should be the Sunday open.
Yeah.
Mags K says, I love the show. Best on the tube. Yeah, hit the like. Hit the like if you had a good time.
Hit the like.
Grab the strong hand.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
hey,
660.
Chris.
Uh,
160 likes. Come on, guys.
MG Trades, I will walk back through that with you. And I will tell you exactly how much I sucked in the middle here. All right, so I was riding this trend. Tommy Voice. He was driving along, having a good time. Lost the trend really dramatically here. Everybody in the chat told me the housing numbers are terrible. We'll never recover from this, but whatever. So housing numbers come out at 10. I'm supposed to know something about that. But anyway, so housing numbers suck. We end up cruising back down and we cut through. So I did avoid this. I avoided VWAP itself. On these days, where we spend a majority of time in the upper band or the lower band. When this breaks, I've learned just ignore this thing. Forget about VWAP. Also, this helped me. These lows here, these look suspiciously ripe for, being screwed over. And NQ rarely gets like a couple hours into the day and lets stuff like this live. So I just leave this alone. I saw these guys over here. I'm like, I'm not going to front run this. So bright red candles also help me stay out of it. Now, did I try to buy this RTH open test here? Sure did. Sure did. Took a stop there. And I believe also I took a stop here at 726. Once this reclaimed, I tried to get out of this band. And if you go back to the open stream, you don't have to. Nobody needs to rewatch anything. But I was like, this is turning into a trend down day, because it was. It had completely shifted, 45 degrees pointed down. The only reason that I stayed in this long bias was this 665 spot reclaim, and ES did not look this ridiculous at the low. ES made a really good low. I'll pull that over. So ES did this. It went like 3 ticks below this and immediately bounced. And it was still inside of its band. So I took a shot at 38. Probably closer to 39. I bought ES when it got up here. And then I bought NQ here also when NQ is still in its feelings down here. But I was like, that has to be the low. Or if we go lower than that, then I'm going to wait for, I don't know, I guess NQ to fill the gap. It's pretty far down there, I think. Yeah, the gap's all the way at 29,500. So yeah. Hope that helps.
Yes, putting in a lot of buying there.
Yeah, pump it.
Pump it.
A lot of buying.
Pump it.
Yep.
You got to pump it up.
I need the last 30 minutes. What is that? What does the Leo talk about? The last 30 minutes? What is that called? The H period?
The M period.
M period.
Yeah.
M period stack.
So where are we in relation to that? Do we know yet or no?
If we make a new high in the next 12 minutes on either, then it's a 67% chance likelihood that we'll make a new high in
a new high.
The new
model.
New.
A new model with the new trims.
Yeah. So we got to clear 30K. Woo. Okay. Hey, buddy. Here's a fun way to see a nice little splasherino on the Dom. That was spicy.
Just a casual like 10 points of zero prints.
Yeah, no big deal. Nothing to see.
That's totally
here.
normal. It's totally normal. Turn around. Nothing to see.
When you guys
walk away.
When you guys are seeing these, I don't know what are considered large lots for you guys. I don't know, 50, 100, many more. But when you guys in your guys' sort of trading journey, and as you consistently see these higher numbers all the time, do you think they're actually trading the market like similar to us, or they're just maybe random trades that are being put in, and the short-term reaction is that because they were buys, the market's pushing higher? Like, do you really think that they're really trading that size consistently with how we're doing?
I don't think it's I don't think it's retail.
No.
I think
Well,
it's
yeah, if somebody has 500 lots, no way.
yeah, I think it's just they want, if Citadel has a client that says, I need a 500 NQ today, they're going to try to, or maybe buy, right? They're going to try to fill that request at the best prices they possibly can, and that's how they do it. I think that's just my take. Nothing crazy. But sometimes you do see like it gets a little interesting when you see like 50 on the offer, and then when it goes down 10 points, there's another 50 right there on the bid, and then it keeps bouncing back and forth.
Yep.
But I think the best approach is just don't read anything into it. Take it as any other order and see if it gets filled, because that shows the market's willingness to trade that price aggressively, weak. I believe it was Tuesday. So I ran over this yesterday on our stream. There was 140 lots at the very low of day Tuesday. And that's after showing big size. So they had 100 something. They traded 22 of it, but there was 140 left. And they never traded it again. They started trading away from it, holding away. That tells me it's the sell side is not interested enough to be dealing lower. If liquidity is there, it's on the book, it's willing to get filled, but the sell side's not filling it. How then could I expect price to push lower if I'm seeing this on the order flow, right? And so I start to get longs and stuff like that. So big orders isn't like, okay, everyone perk up your ears, something's happening. This is such a notable event. No, it's not. Just see if the market trades towards it, which generally it does if it's close enough, right?
Yeah.
The market will trade towards liquidity because that's what it's seeking. And once it does it fill it? Does the order get killed? Do they want to fill? If they do get filled, how does it happen? Is it all in one go? 2, 3, 4, 5 bites? At that point, it's a little weak. And once it does get filled, what happens? Does the market gain continuation after that fill? Which tells me, okay, there is serious interest in continuation, sell side or buy side. But there's never any voodoo like, oh my goodness, something ominous is happening because they keep flashing on the tape. I don't give a shit. If you're flashing on the tape, get filled, then we'll see, right? Does the market fill it? Does it gravitate towards it? Does it move away from it? How many attempts does it take to fill it? And after it fills, do they keep lifting offer through it or hitting bid through it? Or does it start to stall? Now that order is being traded, on the other side. But everyone wants to sell order flow as this third eye. You can see all the big liquidity, and they'll always reference Bookmap. Look, this is how I knew the market was going to go higher, 365 points, because this big red line that shows liquidity and the market's seeking it. Like it's like really selective. It's selective bias.
Is bookmark order flow?
Bookmap, it is technically, yeah, it's a heat map.
Yeah.
So it'll show you where liquidity is and where it isn't. But everyone wants to use level 2 data as a crystal ball, and they'll sell it like, oh, join my Discord. I'll teach you how to always know where the market's headed based on liquidity. But it's just an auction.
Well,
right?
I don't think
at the end of the day.
I don't think resting liquidity is order flow necessarily because it ain't doing shit. It's just standing there. Like
Well,
it's
I think
not
order
flowing
flow,
anywhere.
order flow as intrinsically as you can, nail it down to is just seeing orders.
Yeah, I guess.
Nothing fancier than that. If you can see orders, if it's a heat map, if it's this, to me, that's order flow. You're seeing orders and you're making decisions based on the orders that we are seeing. So whether it's wrong or right, it's still order flow.
All right.
But yeah, there's always this, that everyone kind of perks their ears when there's size somewhere that they can see. Just see how the market reacts to that on the book. If it's not getting filled, to me, it means nothing because I don't know if they're going to pull that. I don't know if they want the fill. And sometimes if you look close enough, say there's 500 lots on the offer up above, and when NQ's trading like 2-3 points away from it, you'll actually see very, very, very aggressive reloading on the pull stack against the bid right under that big order.
Yep.
And so that to me also says, okay, yeah, someone's parked a really big order, but the market is aggressively selling under this order. So I will take note of that. And if the order doesn't fill and that sell side keeps getting interest, I'll take the market down with it. Obviously if it's in the right spot structurally. But on the contrary, if now that aggressive selling gets pushed against and then they take out the big order, I'm looking at that range where the aggressive selling was coming in. And if the market seems to hold that for a bid and continue higher, I'm taking that bid because they have just cleared out a lot of very intentional selling. To me, that's a market I am not going to take to the downside and likely going to get some good continuation to the upside because there will be a lot of offsides liquidity on the other way. So yes, it's very nuanced. I've just went on for like 25 minutes about this, but it's
No, it's good.
it's
We
more
need to
than
talk
just
about it
seeing
because
it.
people look at it all the time and they're like, what does this shit mean?
Yeah, it's more than just, oh, I got a crystal ball, big order here, and this is how I know this is going to happen. When it's close to price is when it matters. When it's sitting like 400 points up and some guru after the fact says, room confirmed, we knew this 4 hours ago, so we got long right at the open towards it. That's just survivorship bias. The market's not that easy. And
There
usually
was
they hide their size, they'll iceberg it.
there was really good active resting liquidity on ES today that was causing price reactions when it was moving around.
Mhm.
There were a couple 800 lot groups that were sitting above. They were moving higher as price
Mhm.
was chasing them. So, and then at one point they combined and then moved half higher. So but price was going towards it. There was still
Mhm.
good
To
order
me,
flow, good bid chasing that down.
yeah, because it's seeking, right? The market wants liquidity, but to me, if someone's playing around like that, they might as well not exist to me. That's how
Yep.
I see it. Usually, like just say you are Citadel in that example, and a client wants 1,000 lots filled. You want the best price. You're not just going to flash 1,000 at the bid,
Yeah.
right? You're going to iceberg it. So you really won't see these things. You're going to see it in the buildup of Delta or on the DOM. You're going to see it slowly getting accumulated. Even as price moves away, they're going to start trying to buy it on pullbacks or whatever. You'll see that in the form of icebergs. But very rarely do they ever want to fill and they'll just flash like that. And if they do, yeah, that's their choice. There's nothing more to it. There's no sneaky, smart money sits at a round table with their hands like this and goes, ha ha, how do we trick retail for no reason other than making them lose money? Like, that's just not how it works. They're just trying to get order fills just like us at the best prices, just like us. But it's hard with tons of liquidity. You can't just get the prices we get. You're going to get whatever prices the market's currently auctioning at. So it's a whole different game. And I think it's best not to try to mesh the two together and, try to play this 3D underwater backgammon with it. It's just another order. See how the market does with it. Does it go towards it? Does it fill it? Does it run away from it? Does it fill it and then find that no one else is willing to drive further? And now everyone might be super offsides because it got filled. I just boil it down to volume, right? That's why I use the daily profiles instead of trying to big brain the intentions of large institutions. Just look at the footprints of the market, which to me is in the volume, right? Where where did, you know, a big auction that led to something big take place? And what are the implications upside of it? What are the implications downside of it? So I just kind of boil it all down to that. 30 minutes, 45 seconds and going, yeah. Someone got a good rant. Oh, that was Chris, right? Chris asked it. He got a good rant out of me.
I got a rant.
That was
It
a
was
good
all when he
that
asked about
thing
big orders.
you were talking about there. I mean, there was a giant order sitting at 900 for a very long time, and they filled 97 to 96 for I don't know 15 minutes first, like mass repopulate in front of that big digit. So yeah, well, that's why that pull stack is also useful for that too.
Citadel don't have clients. Yeah, attach any institution to that. for the sake of the example.
How do you build discipline required to trade? Locking yourself out is a good option. I, you know, I don't know how to answer that. I just follow the rules that I created.
Mike has an interesting question. Don't futurists track an underlying asset and move accordingly, regardless of volume? So in a low volume environment, what relevance do orders in the futures market have? It's not a one-to-one sort of situation. So it's not like if SPY moves, a penny, ES has to move a penny. Like they each have their own volume. It's why MES and MNQ occasionally move differently, because those are two different markets. So it's its own market. It's its own asset.
What happened here? Oh.
In a low volume environment, what relevance do orders in the futures market have? Well, when volume is dry, I think order flow effectiveness is diminished greatly, which is like Globex. So I don't trade Globex. I like when orders are coming in, volume's flowing in, the book is moving, and you could just feel it way better. The information, there's just way more information. But when it's really dry, there's not much volume, there's not much happening. The edge in all of it is greatly diminished, and I don't think it's just order flow. I think it's in everything. Any way you trade, unless you're trading like you got Baron on the phone strategy or something.
That would be sick.
That would be, huh? That would definitely be
sick.
paywalled. Definitely be paywalled. You definitely gotta charge sub for that.
Yeah, Mike, I'll be in Philly next Wednesday. Come all through. Wait, do we get access to that stuff if we buy the golden ticket? Is that what happens? That might be the access. Maybe we just didn't. Does Baron have a WAP? Maybe it'll do something cool. Maybe it will retrace. It got rejected that 65 spot again on that sweep. It didn't leave those empty prints though. XY, when you see a sweep like that, like up to 958 and just leaves 10 points of zeros, do you wait for
you know what's interesting about this whole thing? There were also some on the downside, 907s to 903.
Did they really?
Question was, which ones are gonna get left? Which
You're
ones get
right.
filled? Maybe they'll do both. Yeah, that you didn't catch that one, eh?
I did not.
Mm-hmm. Always tricky, always playing games.
We'll watch this 48 guy at 910.
Luke, I think I want to say yes. I think on the 27th they will. Could be wrong, like I am often, but as far as I know, yeah. But I don't have any insider info if that's what you're guessing. They don't tell me anything. I'm nobody here. Do you guys use the pull stack when looking at refreshing? Yeah. It's kind of the only way to really see it. Yeah, you can see it on like the resting bid and the ask orders, but the pull stack just does way better at visualizing it.
Uh,
I wanted something cool to happen there at 9:10 so we could illustrate that point we were just talking about, but they're running away from them.
Maybe they'll tag these low 900s first. Yeah, it hasn't really improved. ATR has expanded like 2 points or so, but 3 points, but still same environment. Sucks to trade in. Yeah, more for, I mean, a little casual 50 points in this range. It's not too bad.
all right, let's go back up. Come on.
Oh yeah, Chris is still long.
Give me 4R.
Yeah, I mean, glad to hear, Morford. You must be doing something right.
Yeah, Cajun. You should be able to get the Cajun Law. Those are in there. They're either in the Discord or they're floating around a channel. So you just download the templates and install them. There's instructions and all that.
You know it, Jacob.
Goyle coins, very exclusive. It's invite only. Only for Discord members.
I was late, so I missed the Goyle joke. I got to go back and watch so I can
The
get.
Goyle, you don't know the Goyle reference? So there was one time where I was talking about like in 2023 when it was super dry and I was trading like friggin' 7 different things. And I said like, oh, ESNQ Goyle, but I meant to say golden oil. And they just like, chat just lights up, tape speeds up in the chat. Everyone's like, Goyle, making all these jokes. So now I'm a big Goyle guy.
Big Goyle guy. All right, cool.
The
I
Pokemon
like that.
name. I need to dress up as a pirate for Halloween. Why are you thinking about me in a pirate suit? How about that? Chris, what is the main indicator you are using? I do not know what main indicator you might be talking about, my friend. I have the moving averages. I have RSI. I have this EMA cloud, the 20 and the 50 EMA. I have a zones indicator that I created. You can be more specific. Oh, the zones indicator? Yes. Do you have a question on it? Or yeah, the zones indicator helped me plot out support and resistance levels. The different colors here, I like these darker red and darker green zones are what are sort of my horizontal trend filters, if you will. if we get above it, I know that the next target should be the next darker zone. For example, can I make this smaller? Maybe the 15-minute chart. But look, there's a good example here. We're respecting these zones very well. And these are zones that are plotted ahead of time based on a calculation that I eventually put together to help me understand where support and resistance was going to be. But it respects it very well. And yeah, I use these to help provide context. It usually aligns with a lot of things: volume profile, Fibonacci's, just all this other random stuff, and that I just stick to it. It's available for people in my Discord because there's a lot of education that comes with it because it's part of our system. Like the trade plans and the trade ideas are generated with the zones. So it's available for them. Save big money with all the R's. I'm trying to get to 4R. I need 4R at least, or it'll probably close here. If it closes here,
Yeah,
it's right above 2R. So, but I'm happy with that. Hey, yo, Cooper.
let's see what ended with this.
Not that many R's, okay?
Imagine like attaching that nickname to Chris, but then you'd always have to say, but not in that way. Oh yeah, we call him R. Kelly, but not for that.
Chris, do you want that nickname? We can get it going if you want. We got 18 minutes left. We can do an R. Kelly bit if you're into it, but I won't force that on you.
So guys, this is when they say, when you ask questions, how do you not get distracted? I'm just trying to not hear them, okay?
He's
Trying to zone
getting
out,
called R. Kelly.
okay?
How do you like that though? It's like, is it good? How do you feel about it though?
I was in the closet.
Stuff's listening to that song right now.
Dude, there was few things as unhinged as those weird closet songs. And that was a thing.
You know, honestly, maybe now that shitpost culture is so big, maybe that whole thing was just a shitpost.
Maybe
But there wasn't a word for it at the time. You know,
Yeah.
he's just like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shitpost.
I'm gonna sing this weird story about being in a closet, the weird things that happened to me.
And it gets weirder and weirder
Yeah.
and weirder. It's just S tier shit posting before its time.
That's back when the simulation was cool and the lizards had good ideas. Like, let's have R. Kelly make these songs about a closet. I know, Lucas. That's what I immediately go to is the Chappelle skit.
Cool market, huh, guys?
No, it's not.
Very
Do you know
cool.
what happened? I was like, I got done and I started to do some weights or whatever. And I was like, man, sure is going to be tough for those guys to trade the close. Glad I don't have to do that.
Mhm. Let's do a little test. Is
Leo must have
Dio
pranked
Killer here in the chat today? Are you on the charts, Dio?
Dio.
Dio. No, even he's not touching it. He's like, "Eesh, even this is too crazy for me."
It wants higher. We're holding this 900, 910 area.
Yep. Yeah, annoyingly so.
Things are exactly what they seem today. Yeah, the total opposite of yesterday. It actually is what it seems today.
It was not what it seemed for about 45 seconds at the lows. That's it. Other than that, it was exactly.
Well, it's because they're like, wait a minute, we did this yesterday.
Yeah.
We already did this not what it seems thing yesterday.
I'm in the shower. Was it me?
No, it's Shaggy. Different guy.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. Did you just independently sing Shaggy this week? Because I also did that yesterday. Are we both doing that right now? Have Shaggy on the brain?
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah. Well, we were already best friends, but even had her on the sofa.
Guys, like up the stream. XY is going to drop some knowledge here at the close.
15 minutes.
Going to give you enough to go into the weekend and study up more.
15 minutes. Jim's gonna come downstairs.
Good question, Joe. I'm going to be honest about something, maybe for the first time ever in front of other people. I don't like stuffed crust, nor have I ever. I think it's weird and a bit of an abomination. And I don't, yeah. When I get to it, I'm like, I hate this. And I wish this wasn't like this. So I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings.
The likes just cut in half right now. Way to go, dude.
I do remember the best part about stuffed crust pizza was the Trump commercial where he's eating stuffed crust backwards, and that weird ad campaign where everybody was turning their pizza around.
I'm a purist. It's gotta be like I really like New York style, so it's
Yeah,
then
hell yeah.
by default, it's gotta have that good bottom, like it's crispy, doesn't flop over much, like a cheese, pepperoni, or like a margarita pizza. I don't like to do too much with the pizzas.
You get to that stuffed crust, and it's like somebody put your kid's cheese stick in the stuffed crust. It's like it's
Someone
never
accidentally
really
left it in
melted.
there while they were baking it.
Yeah, and it's even like it's still gelatinous. It's not cheese. It's like a mystery substance. Yeah. There's no, it's complete. No.
Good undercarriage, no flop. Did
Yeah,
you
I'll go
learn today?
time.
Hello.
I'll go time to push it.
Dominic
Spell
says,
iCup. Somebody
when-
spell iCup.
should I get out my calculator and start doing all my old calculator jokes?
Dude,
Those were good.
throwback. I feel like I'm in the 4th grade again.
Hell yeah. Dominic, I don't know, man. That seems like a lot to insinuate from the day. I don't really take what RTH does and think about what Globex is going to do really at all.
Chat's getting bored. They're telling me to do all kinds of stuff. Spell iCup. Put the S on the chart.
Oh,
They want me to do all kinds of stuff.
well, it's not you're not in a trade. You can't start doing that randomly.
Yeah, you can't just start. That's abuse of power.
That's to bless a trade.
It's like high level magic. Yeah, you can't be just messing around with it. But like as I do like the really nice New York slice, not too much going on it, like a pizza Piers kind of deal. I will say Hot Pockets are really good.
Oh, sure.
Really, dude. Yeah, Hot Pockets. Hell yeah.
Where are you at
I
on
love
Totino's
those.
pizza rolls? That's kind of
Come
like
on.
a tiny Hot Pocket. Okay, cool. Just making
Is there
sure.
such thing as a profitable trader that doesn't like pizza rolls?
I don't know.
That's
Probably
going to
not.
be what the next hour is going to be all about, actually. I made pizza rolls, so they will be done in about 10 minutes.
Did you bake them or did you just go ahead and microwave them? Because sometimes I don't have the time and I just
Dude, yeah,
microwave
it
these
really
babies.
depends. I don't
All
at
right.
this point I haven't had any in so long. I forgot they
Attention
existed. I
traders,
should probably go get
it's
some.
algo time.
Bagel bites also. Hell yeah.
Oh, see what happens here. No, you're going the wrong way. I was
Air
breaking through that
fryer. Yeah.
910.
It's like everyone
He's
just
still there.
air fryer now.
Keeps this fit. I mean, he's full of shit. So like, this is exactly what we were talking about: resting liquidity, blah blah blah. You can see this dude. He was here. He had 90 lots when we came down here the first time. Didn't get filled, and then every time we got down here to attempt to fill this 910, zilch, two lots printed there. So he pulled it off, put it back on. It had no intention of getting filled so far. But he was there the whole time, except when price was crossing the spread to try to fill it. Hey, Shab.
Very, very weak now.
Hell yeah. Yes, you got to burn the roof of your mouth. If you don't eat a Totino's pizza roll like as soon as they're done and immediately regret it,
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
if you're not burning the roof of your mouth, you don't want it bad enough.
mm-mm.
This is how it is. And you'll never get anywhere in life with that attitude. There's something deeper here on how you eat your pizza rolls. You tell a
That
lot
was
about a
my.
person.
Do you remember when the Tiger Woods memes were really popping off? That was my favorite one. Was Tiger Woods' sad arrest face on the outside of a microwave, and it just said, "What my Totino's pizza rolls see at 3 a.m." And that was the best one.
All right,
was
guys.
a good
Well,
meme
please
run.
hit the likes. We've done our best to entertain you for a solid, I don't know, 2 hours of 40-point range, if even. Please hit the likes. It helps the stream or something.
More importantly, stick around and ask XY questions.
Mhm.
That's
A
important.
big pizza roll segment coming up. Damn, that sounds so good right now. Do you think they'll fire me if I just ate pizza rolls on stream?
No, I don't. I don't think so. I think you would. I think you're good to go.
Right to jail, right away. Nah, I need a Totino sponsorship to do that. Come on now.
I don't know how much money Totino's has lying around. Those things are like $2.
Yeah, the margins are quite
Yeah,
thin.
it's very, very thin.
Affiliate code will get you like, I don't know, 0.5% of sales.
They're already making Totino's off of every piece of leftover stuffed crust pizza that everybody throws away because it's garbage.
DIY Totinos. Yeah, I guess pizza roll stream screen lit. Beautiful.
Kev said no unless she's eating some too.
Yeah, no, unless I have some too.
I actually have a real answer for this, Phil. I was going to talk about it. I'm probably going to talk about it next week. But I had the thing I've been thinking about is you reach a certain point when you've been doing this for a long time, and there can be this weird like sense of entitlement that shows up where you feel like you've put in the work, you've proven yourself that you're profitable. I should be able to be profitable all the time. And I think that that's just a product of that 910 guy finally got filled. I think that's just a product of our society being results oriented and trading not being trading being a process oriented job, probably. But I think that there's a certain part of that. And there was a couple baseball players that brought this to mind. I watched some special the other day when we had a rain delay. And it was all about like, you come out, you have these 2 great years. Paul Skeens is kind of going through it right now. all great pitchers like Justin Verlander have gone through it. Madison Bumgarner, they get this spot where all of a sudden they don't know why they're underperforming, and they're just looking back at their past great performance, and instead of being able to like distill that in some meaningful way and improve on it, they just get lost because it doesn't make sense to their brain. They're like, I deserve to be doing as good as I did before because I did it before. This is who I am. This is the pitcher I am. And I think I let that get into my own trading a lot, for sure. Especially this year when I'm really underperforming last year. It's crept up on me for sure. And yeah, those are my deep thoughts from the last couple of days. So that kind of rings with me when you ask that question. So the answer, it's hard to do, but the answer is like you have to earn it every day. Like every day is zero. You have to earn it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's given to you in this job ever. So if you don't earn it one day, you feel like you deserve it. You don't. That's when you slip. So
I think it's important to understand too that what we're doing, you are not paid for your time at all. There is nothing. You should never feel like, hey, you know, I'm on the charts, I'm in the chair, I'm ready to operate, that you should be compensated any amount for your time. We are not compensated for our time. So you need to also like settle in every day, let go of that. You could sit here all day for hours. You are not due any compensation.
yeah, no problem.
When we have a good week, when do you stop trading for a day or the rest of the week? I continue to trade my strategy as it presents itself. I don't know how to answer that. Fiber optics, sorry. Especially if we're in a trending market and I'm a trend follower, like it doesn't matter if I have my best week on a Tuesday. I need to show up the next day and continue to extract the most I can in the environment that I thrive on. Like March, April, that was my job, right? That was to extract as much as I could. Now I'm chilling. I'm only trading the first 2-3 hours and that's it. But if you're in an environment that you thrive, like for others, it's mean reversion. And in this kind of range that we're in, you need to extract the most you can. Like it.
Guess what, Stowe?
What?
They filled
happened?
both sides of the zero prints, huh?
They sure did. They sure did, those turkeys.
They sure did.
Well, gentlemen.
Jim.
Yo.
So XYZ, if I bring down some big green egg cooked homemade pizza, is that being compensated for your time in the basement?
I would say so because
All right.
I haven't been compensated anything, so I think anything counts at this point. I'll take that, yeah. And like a water, maybe?
I was gonna say he doesn't roll a bottle of water down there sometimes.
Yeah, no.
We don't have water. We just have
He
gin
told
martinis.
me told me that if after a year of streaming, he would give me ice for my water. I haven't seen it. So it's rough down here, man.
That's premium stuff, man.
I actually went out and bought my own insulation so that I can get some insulation in this basement because he won't give it to me.
Gosh. Well, you're gonna graduate to some ice cubes and some insulation pretty soon. Anyway, great job today, you guys. You know, for everybody who has resting orders at an S&P at 7,600 and then the NASI at 30,000, doesn't look like you got filled. Close, but no cigar.
Close. Super close, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to close the rest of my trade here now that we're closing the day.
Everybody else flat?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm flat.
Awesome job,
It's
you guys.
10:30.
Woo!
Very, very awesome job. Let's see what happens here going into the final bell. Probably not much. Risk on day across the board. Everything's green except energies. And the Canadian dollar.
See if they go get this 93. Now it's gone. Just flashing. It's wild.
All right. What a day. What a day. We're not done yet. We still got a lot of work to do. Let me remind everybody about tomorrow, though. Tomorrow is Friday, Capital Preservation Friday. We have Craig Shapiro and Shai kicking things off. They'll be joined by Blake Morrow, then Pax, then Selma. Trading the Open, XYZ and Christian are coming back tomorrow. Appreciate you too. And they will be joined a little bit later on with Stowe and Lumi. So full day tomorrow, going all the way to 1 o'clock. Friday, we're going to finish strong. We should have some market movements tomorrow. It'll be a lot of fun. Appreciate everybody being here. Don't move, because we're going to move into the next segment here in a second. I do want to thank these three, though, for our job. Well done. Let's give these guys a round of applause, please. And then Stowe, we'll talk about Asbury Park next time I see you. I've been there 1983 on a road trip.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun, man. All Bruce Springsteen all day long.
Hell yeah. Sounds good.
So, Stowe, Christian, you guys have great weekends. I won't talk to you tomorrow because I won't be around, but appreciate you as usual. Be safe.
You too, brother.
Have a great weekend. Have a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys next week. And we are ready for another installment of Develop Your Edge, part 2 with XYZ. And we got an open mic day cooking, so let's go and do it.
Wow, there's like fancy intro music.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Hopefully today we can get through some questions. It was a lot last time, a lot of missed.
Yeah, so the format today, so XY he's going to have a brief presentation, talk about some stuff. We're going to spend a lot more time this session taking questions. So type them in the chat. I'll pass them on to XYZ as we go through. If there's something that we didn't cover and I missed a question or something, just type it back into the chat, buzz me or however that works, and we'll get it in. So we have the next hour to do that. XY, thanks for being here for part 2 of Develop Your Edge. We really appreciate you doing this with us, and let's get rolling.
All right. So let's start here. As always, high time frame. There's always, let me delete this. There's some stuff that went on during the week that I want to go over first. So whoever remembers last time's presentation, I'm always looking to trade against a counterparty, right? It's not just, hey, I think the market's going to go here and I need to get in line with the direction. I'm looking for a counterparty first, and the volume does tell me a lot of it. Tuesday in particular, let me see if I can actually go all the way back. It's today. It's yesterday. And I believe this is Tuesday. Give me 1 second. All right, here. So Tuesday, we had a strong move down. Oh, no, I want to go to the charts. Where are we? Oh, yeah, Tuesday, we came down here to this swing, right? So ignore these two profiles. We're not there yet. Let me blow this up. We came down to this swing low, and it's always the same question, right? We're talking swing low, taper, taper, taper. Do they actually push through? And there's a zone drawn for reference because I'm eyeing the 250s, right? Because they're not getting much under it, and the market's sliding down. We can see on these 1 hour candles at some point they did try it twice, and then it went up and reversed. So intraday, this is what it looks like. You're moving down. It's opened and it's just selling. Bid steps in, offsides. Bid steps in, offsides, and it keeps happening until that swing low. So the important thing is to wait until there's a counterparty. If you're at a swing low and you want to take shorts, you think the market's going to break and continue right here. What needs to happen, right? This needs to happen. Buying needs to keep going unrewarded. Shorts need to keep seeing continuation. They hit it and it seemingly stops, right? So you're seeing that bid. Now the selling stops getting continuation. That's okay. The buyers need to gain some ground, right? But at some point, they can't make that new low. So as they're pulling up, yeah, sell side is not getting rewarded anymore. They're going, but you don't know when that reoffer might take place to send us new lows. And we do get a pretty good leg down, right? So this signifies that shift. This is an actual leg down. Unlike these pullbacks, a leg down can be seen by failed attempts to get back up. So lower highs, to make it simple, right? This leg down should lead to at least the lows and likely new lows, right? To really extend out of a high time frame range, you need strength. This is not what it looks like, but this is not what we're here to talk about, right? We're here to talk about the build. So it looks different now, but at the time, this profile, this distribution was building pretty big, and there was a low volume spot. So let me we'll delete this, and we'll mark this as what was building, right? So as the market fails to go lower, and you got to be hyper aware, we are at a major swing low, very key. The difference now is huge. There has been a taper, there's been a lack of interest, and they're finally putting interest again. That means selling is coming in. They're willing to sell these prices. To move lower, they need to be willing and able to sell below. This needs to lead to lower prices with builds, more distributions, more volume building downside. They cannot lose this, right? But what happens? They do. So what I noticed was, and even through my own friends, because the market looked weak, everyone was still looking for an offer, whether it's because they think the market is still weak or they haven't gone long and it's like, I can't get long now, right? It's too late. So you just start looking for offers in the market. But the key here in the volume is this is a lot of effort. There's a lot of selling here. A distribution cannot build to be this big without both sides in it, which means there's a lot of sellers. If the market is going to continue lower, break the range, and build outside of it, it needs sell strength, and it doesn't look like this. It does not look like this. Sellers cannot have this happen if the market were to continue to break a swing low. So the market drifts up. And I bring up the counterparty because as it's going back through, this at the time was the large volume, and you're reaching different nodes at this point on the upside. You're losing all of the ground that the sellers have been trying to break, right? So they're losing it, and they can no longer sell into it. This is when you need to get the hell out of the way. So I ran through this yesterday. I'm going to do it briefly again, high level for anyone that wasn't on it.
So really quickly, XY, if I could interrupt for a quick second, when that second low happens, when that key level happens, and we get that push back up, we would say something like this level was defended. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was defended, or you can frame it so many different ways, but the proof of all of it was that they traded into it and through it, and they could not make any progress. That's just one side of the coin, right? It doesn't mean get long now because you're anticipating this. It doesn't have to be that way because this is a high time frame event, right? You're looking at a pretty large runway. There should be no hurry to have to get in. You can always wait for more confirmation and then get in higher. But that's why I stress the counterparty. The counterparty showing up not only gives you the context and the confirmation, it gives you the point of risk. Without seeing the counterparty, it's very hard to see where you can risk. So this is what makes all the difference. Price is now moving up, and it tries to sell here, fail. Sure, whatever. Still in the range. This could hold 2 attempts here and then just drift right back lower. But it doesn't, and it continues to move. So this whole thing changes. This can be your point of risk now, right? It doesn't mean you have to chase a breakout trade and now your risk is all the way down here. You can actually just place it here. If it trades it, remove yourself from it in case it does slide lower. And if it holds again, you have an even better point of risk to try to get back in. But the idea is who's getting what they want. All day, buy side is getting washed. But things have changed as now they've got you have a huge piece of information. The sell side is in big trouble, and there's a lot of them. And now they're the ones not getting what they want on each leg, right? So at this point,
So sorry, XYZ, one more question. So if you go back to the previous swing high, at what point do you decide, all right, it's time to enter? Do you wait for that swing high to be taken out again, or no?
if you see this selling here,
Yeah.
and on order flow, people might have different ideas of what is notable selling. If it gets traded against, then you can speculate, all right, selling is no longer being rewarded because one, they've lost all of this ground, all that effort put in, they are all offsides now. And now if they try to sell above it to get back in that range and they still can't get it done, that's all I need to see. It doesn't mean now this is guaranteed to work. It's more of what more do you want to see to get onto this trade at this point, right? You want Trump to call you? It's not going to happen. So trading is really just getting all the information, making sure you're not paying for incomplete information. But at this point, there's so much information that the market's giving us through losing this distribution down low, trading above it, and now watching selling come in and no longer be rewarded above the range where they really need to see continuation. They are in hot water, right? The market has now decided, yeah, this range, we're done with it. So they're going to move back through, and until the sell side gets any continuation, it's not going to stop. And you see that here, another pullback, another pullback, another pullback, and eventually, things just balance forever. They come back down to it, right? But this is the idea where a lot of my own buddies, like personal friends that I coach and a mentor, they couldn't long it because, well, it's kind of like a breakout trade and the market's still weak. So they try to short it. But I'm trying to tell them, like, the market is screaming something at you. It's done. This thing is done. This down move, it's over with. Get out of the way. You don't have to get long, but get out of the way. So this is Tuesday, and let's move forward. This happens again yesterday. And so I want to bring it to everyone's attention because it's the same idea. Yesterday we open, we range, it breaks, cool. It puts in that higher low, cool. So if you look at the volume profile, you do see finally a break of all of this, right? I was long trying to get higher up because as the market opens, it trades back up and I'm seeing distribution. It looks different yesterday too. There was 3 distributions, one here, and one here. And we've made that move down, left 3 distributions behind, and we're accepting this again, this range. And they're holding right here. They're holding the spot, right? This higher area, 250s, where they need to hold every time. So at the open, a little after the open, like I'm long looking for higher, looking for much higher because I think because we're holding here, now we're trading here, we can get all the way up to the 550s. Yes, at the end of the day, they did finally, but my trade went about 130 points. So it went halfway through here and then it just collapsed again. Shit happens, whatever. But the idea is who's being rewarded and who's not. So when it does collapse, they hold it and it's going down again until it stops. And then it's building, right? At the time, you're seeing another node here in this range. And the same thing happens again, right? You're either going to follow the market because you think it'll sell. This was the 9 EMA. I want to point this out too. For anyone who uses the 9 EMA like I do, 5-minute time frame only, the market's going down, so we're going to say downside for the example. Every time the market tests the 9 and gets continuation on a downtrend, it should create a new low. If that test, which was this, yeah, you got paid. It's a good move. If it cannot make a new low, watch out, right? Be very wary. And so eventually it comes up and then they try to offer it again. And now it's trading through. And what happens after it trades through? Every time the sell side steps in, they get nothing. And there were a lot of people, oh, I'm going to try to sell here. Oh, I think the next spot is the view. I think the next spot is this. Your counterparty, which is the buy side, is not losing any ground. It's always important who is the counterparty and then what's happening every time they step in. The counterparty, every time they step in, it doesn't work, right? In this example, we're going to say it's the sellers because the market's going up. You can't fade this. You got to get out of the way or get alongside of it. Right? It's the same thing from Tuesday, happened again yesterday. And the way I look at volume, it's about counterparties. Why did I take the longs here? Because there's 3 sets of distributions. These sellers are not in a good place, and we're poking back into the distribution, and we're holding a low volume spot. I'm going to try to take it through. Right. So
And XYZ, on the 3 distributions, does it necessarily matter the size of those distributions?
I would say yes, for grading purposes. Um, the bigger the distributions, the higher the implication because there's more volume in there. There's more inventory. There's more that can liquidate or squeeze out or just exit, right? Because ultimately buyers are actually sellers. It's only a matter of time where, they're going to take their profits. Sellers are buyers. It's a matter of time where they got to cover the short. So the bigger the nodes, the higher the implications because it's kind of like that hidden, we'll say what, hidden sets of buyers or sellers where the sellers are actually at some point they are going to be buyers, right? And vice versa. So it doesn't look like this because they traded back down to it, but at the time in the morning, it was 3 clear distributions they're trading against and then back in here. So to me, it was like a failed move. I'm getting long. I'm going back through this range and it's going to be all nice and pretty. Eventually I got down to 1 runner and 130 points came back to break even. They slid down lower and then they just finally hit that 550 target.
XYZ, for a couple questions in the chat about let's go over the anatomy of your chart that we're seeing right now. What are the profiles on the left? What's the profile on the right, and time frame and that kind of thing?
Candles, 1 hour. So this is a 1 hour chart. This profile is a 5-day rolling profile. And then these are full session daily profiles, Globex and RTH combined into one. So some people like a TPO, you would have it split. You would have an overnight profile and then a New York session only. But I just got used to this. I liked that it takes less space on your screen. And I got used to just looking at it and picking and choosing my spots and what happens. And it's always ultimately it's finding that counterparty in every way. So as the market moves, you can see on the edges, there's always that counterparty that's being traded against, right? On the highs and the lows. At this point, right, this is huge, very big volume, and they couldn't trade against it. This is not a counterparty to trade against and go down. This is to go up, right, until things change. There's always going to be somebody stuck somewhere or volume that shows that effort is now offsides. The market doesn't agree with it anymore, and they've gone the other way. And that's how I use volume profile. And I wanted to bring that into the frame this week because Tuesday and Wednesday they did the same thing with the volume. And then how do you get on with the trade then, right? If volume gets stuck down low and it gets set offsides and it's trading higher, there's only one thing left to do. Let's really simplify this. One thing left to do. If it looks like a lot of selling, a lot of effort, especially at a key spot, swing low is about to be set off sides and the market moves up, how do you get on with it? You look for failed selling, which creates the pullback that we see on a candlestick chart on anything. Look for that selling, and when they get traded against, that is your entry and they are your risk. You don't have to be the first nab the low tick, all that stuff. And that's why yesterday on another stream, I went through 2 sets of examples where on Tuesday, I did take the low side of the trade, right? But it was a whole different trade. So on Tuesday, I took this low. Why? Because I was actually just waiting for a move back towards the 9 EMA, and we had about 150 points of a difference. It was only a matter of time where they're going to stall, and we're going to get that retracement back to the 9 EMA and probably sell off again. So I saw those things. There was a little bit of volume here got super stuck, right? And that was that 140 lots was showing on the bid. They came down, they filled 22, and they left the rest behind, which to me, hey, look, if you're willing to sell the market lower, why are you leaving? There's good liquidity. You're leaving it behind. Why would you do that? So to me, it was already like, okay, I think this is where it's going to start that pullback. And they got locked out. The dealing range was well above them, and they just started pushing higher. So I got long, and I got flat at the 9 EMA. The whole trade was just a 9 EMA scalp. At no point did I think this is going to reverse until later, right? Until they spend more time building this whole big node, then trading higher, then holding higher, and locking out all sell attempts for the rest of the day. So two separate things, separate trades. One was a scalp.
When you say they get stuck, I'm thinking, once you become a buyer, once you're long, as an example, you immediately become a seller. Immediately, as soon as you're long, you're a seller. As soon as you're short, you're a buyer. That's got to be your mindset, right? Because you already have a position. And so when you see the swing that comes back down, you have to decide, okay, at what point are the sellers get to the point where, okay, they went out?
Yeah, and that would be when they start to get traded against.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm selling this range, right? And at what point would I likely become a buyer? It's either when the market moves way lower to the next key target, right? A key level in the market, a swing low everybody sees to take profit, that's a buy. Stopping out is also a buy. So if you're selling this range and now you're getting traded against, you're kind of activated as a potential willing buyer, like more urgently, right? On a more urgent basis, you're like, all right, at some point I have to buy. And if it's gonna keep going, it's even more likely, like as high as the higher the prices go, the higher the likelihood that you're about to buy. You're about to become a buyer. And it keeps just repeating itself. Selling comes in, new selling comes in, trade against, selling comes in, trade against, and they're just going to buy. So it's kind of like double barrel buying. And that's why I lean on the volume profiles. That's why the bigger the volume that's stuck and offsides, which would be like this, the bigger the implication, the bigger the potential move. And this whole thing had a huge runway. So it is a great sequence, but it's an entirely different thing from the trade that I took down here, right? This was a scalp because there was nothing to make me think that the market was going to reverse. Not yet. Not even when they put this higher low, right? It's more of when they break this and now there's all this selling volume that is, they have to become buyers at some point. And it's not going to be good if now they stop getting rewarded, which you see it here. But it's a whole different thing.
But the higher low is an important clue in the whole formula.
The higher low now activates the potential for it to not only get back up here, but to have it lock them out, right? That's just my context. Everyone has their own different concept of the market, whether it's big scary algos controlling things or evil cabals that people just want to stop out retail. My whole thing is it's an auction. Right? If you're in at a bad price, it's going to be painful and you have to relinquish it at some point. And that's not just for retail. That's for, we'll call it smart money. That's also the same, like Bitcoin. Saylor had to sell out when it was trading the 60s. It's too painful, right? Its cost basis is too high. It's the same thing for everybody, from retail to smart money, if you want to call it that. So I really wanted to dial in this whole thing because everyone kind of just gets stuck when you feel like maybe it's too late to long and now you're looking for shorts when the market's clearly screaming at you. Look what has happened to the sellers. It is catastrophic. And now any new selling that comes in is no longer getting continuation. When I lay it out like that, it becomes very clear. It makes the market it's like, oh, this is the cheat code. This is how I make tons of money. It's not always the case. It depends how it moves, right? Sometimes it'll poke you out of your stop, whatever. But this is the context that I want to keep driving in. You don't have to be the first of the party. You don't have to get the best price. When a lot of volume is stuck and offsides, you can ride the train higher and higher or lower and lower until it changes. Don't try to guess. Don't try to front run the idea. Let the market give you the information and start to play it out and make itself more clear, right? And the second part, the last part I want to put out is this. So I noted this yesterday for the few who are on the other stream. Moving forward for the rest of the week, this is the big implication, because as they lost this and the market began that leg down, this is the biggest piece of volume in this day. This is the biggest piece of volume that led to not only the lower move, but for the market to hold lower. So to me, this is the biggest implication. Either they're holding this again and we'll put another leg down, or if they do trade above this volume, you better get out of the way. The same thing Tuesday, get out of the way. Wednesday, get out of the way. Where there is big volume, there are big implications. This was it. They traded above it. What happened? Anyone who's in the way, you don't have an account anymore. If you got alongside, you look for the right direction. What do you need to do then, right? So let's go to today. Where even are we? What do you need to do, right, to get on the right side? You look for the moment the counterparty, which would be the sell side, stops getting rewarded. Right here. Doesn't have to be the low, but it's right here, right? Selling heavy. They should get continuation if they were that good, right? They stop. And from here, same story. Selling no longer gets continuation, almost for the rest of the day. So that's very important. Even if you got in earlier and you anticipated this to be when you get long, you're still getting paid. These are great sets of points. It's 100 points. Even this one is over 100 points. But this is how I trade, right? It's the same thing as yesterday's trade. When I got 130, it came all the way back to me. Ultimately, I was right, but you can't control how the market's going to get to a specific target. That's not up to you, right? But if you're on the right side, you have a very distinct advantage in your trading to make money. The market slid through these, but if you took these positions against the counterparty in the right direction, you're making money. This one too. This one especially, right? So that's I've already burnt like half the time, but I wanted to drive those things in because this week it was just so prevalent through every single trading session. It was pay close attention. It's not just where are we trading, but as we continue to trade that, there's a buildup of inventory. What happens to it? Does it get continuation or does it not? And if it doesn't, get out of the way or get on sides. How do you get on sides then is the next question. Look for the counterparty. If they look like they're getting stuck downside, wait for some real selling to come in. See if they get what they want. If they don't, it's a go. Can't ask for more than that. So
Got it. We do have a bunch of great questions too. So whenever you're ready, I can start.
yeah. That's about it.
All right. Very awesome. Let's start with MEA. You covered some of this, but he's got a few good. MEA. I'm assuming you're he. I don't know why I said that. We have. Let me just read you his questions. The first one is: do you only trade off of higher time frames, or do you trade off intraday action? And then he had a follow-up question that said, can you ask if about the higher time frame levels intraday, or you same question, or will you trade off intraday structure too?
So I formed the thesis. I framed the context in the high time frame, that 1 hour chart. It tells me what direction I want to look to go. And then on the intraday, which is what you see here, it's a 1 minute Heikin-Ashi chart with the RTH volume profile. This is where I'm looking to execute. And then I'm going to the DOM. So to execute the orders, I'm on a DOM and I'm watching the auction as it gets into a specific area. And I'm watching the range in which it's dealing. Where is the downside of the range where it starts to taper off or the upside? And if that range looks strong and they can get continuation, I'm going to try to put my orders back in that range. And then I'm going to put the stop at the range, we'll say below that if I'm long, right? Because that stop is in a range that has no longer being dealt by the market. And in my eyes, now if they go to my entries and they fill it, that's the range we just left. It should be a great entry because we've already digested that and they've showed that there's progress. There's a willing bid. I want to be in with them. And when they come back to it and trade the range below it, might not invalidate the idea, but take my chips off the table. Here, you digest this now and we'll talk again when I think there's something to be discussed. But That's how I'm looking to execute from a high time frame picture. I'm going to go into the low time frame. And you guys probably noticed by now, I always scrunch the entire chart to see the whole range of the day. It's not like this, right? Where I'm only seeing a set of candles and I'm like looking at X amount of price. I always want to see the entire day's range so I don't get lost in the sauce. And then when it's time to really pick a spot, I have a clear picture, bird's eye view of where I think it's good based on structure, MGI. Then when it's time to try to put orders in, get my access, I'm on the DOM and I'm looking at the orders come in. Where does one side fizzle out? Where does one side step back in? Where have they just left and they're not really trading those prices anymore? So that's how I do it, high to low.
Got it. And then his final question, XY, is could you talk about how you set your profit targets?
Structurally, it'll be, well, today's profile is not a good example of anything, but let's go to 1 hour, right? So yesterday's long. Let's we'll just cross here. Yesterday's long, I'm right here, right? I'm right at the edge. Great entry, love it. And I'm taking profits as it moves. So the next spot would be here, right? Because it drops off. And then it would be here, the next node up. Do they hold? I don't know. And then it would be here. So the last of my profits was this high. So it was this node, right? I wanted it to break. I had 3 left running. Yeah, I think it was like 130 points in. And it actually broke. It filled 1. So I'm down to 2, but it swept it and started trading back a little lower. So I took 2 off and just went down to 1 because I wanted this. But how would I get this? It has to go through this whole thing, right? But I did think if we're going to start trading into a low volume area like this, I think they've got juice to move to the next node, which is this. So profit targets always structurally. I don't have like set 10 points, 20 points, or R based, any of that. It's what makes sense to me. Trading, my trade is this. I'm betting that the market hits this price before it hits that price, which is my stop, right? And so that's how I make it make sense. And that's how I place my targets. I think if it holds here, it will then go to this price to make that next decision. And that's where I want to look towards. If at any point the order flow starts to tell me, hey, this is, you should probably take some off here, I will take it off before. I'm a scalper. You guys know this. And that's why I say, like, for today's session, you could have been long here and made money, been long here and made money. I make sure that I'm always being paid, right? If I'm operating on good timing. I don't have to be right. I don't care about being right. I care about getting paid. And if I'm operating on optimal timing, I expect to be paid. So that helps me always just be able to look, maybe this trade worked and I'm done for the day. I don't even care anymore. Or maybe I'll take another one. I take this one again. Now I'm done for the day. The rest doesn't even matter to me. I'm gone. I'm off the charts. That's just how I operate. I don't care about being right. I don't care if my idea played out in totality. I really don't care. I'm here to operate on the best timing possible with patience, I don't want to say the word sniper because it's kind of cringe at this point, right? But making sure that patience awards you great access to a great idea. You get paid on it. You're done, right? And you guys will notice my risk reward is always high too because the stops are tight. It's not that I have huge targets. The stops are always just really small. If it's going to deal a range that I think is no longer going to deal, everything changes. Get my chips off the table. I don't care if it's invalidated. Get my chips off the table.
Yeah, very, very awesome. Questions are streaming in. So this is kind of a anatomy one as well. John Doe asks, what's the histogram bar at the bottom of the chart?
It's called a tape reader. So it's free for Order Flow Labs. Sign up under the freemium package and you will find a study called the tape reader. It's pretty much just an aggregate of the time and sales, right? It's a historical view of it. So it's not CVD. It's kind of like a time of sales, but also with some like leg to leg sauce and all that stuff. It's really good. It's really effective. Fading it leads to bad things. Yes. trying to time the turns leads to great things. So it's going to take a lot of screen time to get used to it. But
So the
mine is
turns meaning
just 1
over
minute.
the zero line or under the zero line.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it's Norseman has a question. XYZ, how do you balance intraday activity with high time frame setups? I find myself wasting time with intraday activity and waiting for the high time frame picture. Is that what I should be doing?
Yes. Especially if you can say that you have found that you've been wasting time, like dialing into the intraday activity when the high time frame picture doesn't support it. So I would say yes, absolutely. Because the high time frame provides the implications for the intraday movement. So if you're seeing something like a level or a zone or something that's a good spot that you've been waiting for on a high time frame, but it's not really supporting that intraday, the market doesn't care about it the way you do. That's the truth of it. So we are just trying to find that our trades, the market agrees with them. The market agrees with what we are speculating with our trades. And if the market's showing you that it really doesn't, that's the fact of the matter. It doesn't. That trade's not even real. A lot of people fight this. They think that levels, I would say the easier it is to have found a level, the better it is because everyone sees it. The market can really make its decision on it. But if you had to do all this and dive into some really conspiracy theory stuff to find a level, it's probably not good. It has to be obvious. And if the market, both sides, pace picks up, some market actually cares. So a lot of my friends, they were new to trading at some time, and they would see like overnight high, overnight low, VWAP, all these things. Market trades into the overnight high or the open of this, that something. I never do. They're reference points to me. They're the reference points to where the highs and lows were, where it was overnight, where it opened here, where this and that was. But I don't hang on to that for an entry until the market trades it and tells me, oh, actually, yeah, the market does care about this spot. Then I'll care.
Got it. Another anatomy question, real quick. Ninja, the order flow volume profile has several settings. What settings is XY using on volume profile? Is it standard, buy, sell, or delta?
The volume profile, this one,
Yeah, I think so.
it's just standard.
Standard.
It's
Okay.
just volume, all volume.
Just regular, just regular histogram, volume histogram bars.
No customizing, no mods.
Got it. R. Sterling asks, how do you use the value area high-low on that profile? I measure fixed ranges from midnight to 4, I think he means, the previous day. I don't use the Stethmo price volume access on NinjaTrader and use only value area POS point of control.
I'm totally lost on that question.
Yeah, I think R. Sterling, type that in again and kind of clarify what you mean by midnight to 40, and then Stethmo, what that means, and then we'll get back to it.
So I think, how do I mark the highs and the
Oh,
lows? Like value area?
maybe means set the monthly. I'm not sure. We'll
Value
type-
area is just the typical 70% standard,
Okay,
high and the low.
got it. We'll see if we can get some clarification there. Let's see what else. Jim, could you ask XY to talk about counterparties trapped buyers and sellers on intraday time frame and how to spot that on the leg to leg delta plus any other tools?
Pretty yeah, it's a pretty literal thing. I don't have anything here. Well, let's just look at this. Let's use this as an example. The leg to leg is showing that they're selling here, right? In the 960s, the 970s, these guys would be that counterparty that's offsides because you can see that they've come to sell these prices and they fizzled out, right? Obviously, don't take this literal. It's the end of day closing stuff, but attach it to another part of the market, another environment. That's what it would look like, right? That's what like they're selling. It's going to be negative on the delta. It's coming in, and they get traded. Now you're trading above them. They are not on sides. They're certainly off sides. And then you can get on, and you can assume, you can speculate that, okay, that is the end of the pullback because the effort has come in. They have tried to sell it, and now prices trading above them and continuing above them. You can reasonably speculate that's the end of the pullback. That's your risk. And it's going to keep going up until it finds new sellers because that's the function of the market. If it's going up, it's looking for sellers. And then they'll come in, they'll sell the market. Let's see what's up. At some point, they're going to taper down. Now they're getting traded against again. That's your new spot. That's your new pullback low. And it just keeps going until things change. Selling gets continuation. They sell, they'll pop back up, but then now the buy side can't get continuation on their trade. It goes back to the sell, and now the sell side gets continuation. It's a simple lower high to a lower low shift in the market structure. So on a intraday time frame, that's what it would look like. Just using leg to leg, you can see where the selling is. It trades against them. It keeps going. Vice versa on the buy side. And during the move, if you see that the tape is just constantly positive, you should not look to fade it. The tape reader, if anyone's using it. So that's another thing on here. But yeah, those are the keys. And if volume structure is clean enough and it's giving you low volume areas, look for those spots. Look for something like this, right? If it sells down to here, look for that selling to come in. And if they're unable to breach these prices where the market has already showed you there's a lack of interest, if it goes back into the main range, it's likely to touch the other side. That's the concept here, right? So, and as you move up, you should be building another range. If it's strong, if it's a trend, you're building another range, and now they're going to test that downside. You see selling come in, they don't get what they want, it's probably going to go back through and see if they could build another one, or they can't, and then they'll go back and test it again. A new piece of information.
Got it. Trance has got a question. Waiting for confirmation. It means when waiting for confirmation, it means a bigger stop loss. Do you recommend putting your stop loss at the initial low so that you know you are 100% incorrect, or the pullback low?
I do the pullback low. That's why my risk reward is always high. It's not big targets. It's very tight risk. And that was kind of the example earlier. Let me go back to that again. Let's just use yesterday's session, right? So if we're looking at this, and this is the range, this is the break, and if I'm getting long because I see these guys not getting what they want on the sell side, and it's continuing still strong outside the range after another sell attempt, this is my stop. It's not all the way down here. Why? Because if they trade this again, like they fail to extend and trade this again, to me, that could be a failed break on the upside because they've given it 2 tries at this point. And if they're still trading here, they could trade all the way down. Why hold my chips all the way down here when I could just cut it here? And if it does hold, I could just get back in again. There's a huge difference there. It doesn't invalidate the whole thing, but it saves me the potential to lose this much of a range on my chips versus just cutting it here, seeing if it holds somewhere, and getting another point of access in with the same tight risk. Because, again, this would be a break, and breaks commonly fail more than they actually get continuation. If they're going to try it once, get that pullback, and fail to get extension out of this, this could be a failed attempt, and I don't want to hold on to my chips for it. This is how I trade. It's not this for everybody. You're gonna see guys on Twitter. I made a gazillion today, and they're like 1.5 R, 1 R, but it works for them. You know, they have really big risks.
That's a great question. Stop loss has been my nemesis for most of my career, but that was a great explanation of that for sure. Let's keep rolling here. Let's see. We've got let's this is an important concept. We kind of already covered it, but let's kind of nail it now. Dark Mode asks, how do you gauge capitulation from buyers and sellers?
So I'm assuming that means short squeeze moving up and a liquidation moving down, kind of like the whole dead body setup thing. How do I identify it is the question.
Yeah.
Let me go here. So how do I identify that? It's the same thing I've been harping on about volume builds is that attempt. The volume build is a pressing matter. It is what's happening now. And it could be like this, right? You've got build, build. Let me just blow up this profile. Build, continue, build. This is strong. Good, right? You're lifting all the offer. You're moving out the way. There's not enough selling in the market to sustain the buying. Go, and then you should be building, but you don't. Actually, you lose it. Hold on, something has changed, right? Buy side's been getting what they want all day, and they finally found a range where they're evenly matched, or there are now more sellers. The thing is, short squeeze happens all the way at the bottom, or it starts from that bottom auction, and the liquidation starts at the top auction. We're going to look at liquidation because this example starts at the top. In this build, there aren't just buyers. There are what we would call late buyers, new buyers. These buyers have gotten continuation. They've been compensated. These have not. And there seems to be a lot of them. So how do I identify that? Price goes to the highs, fails. It's okay. It's a pullback. Maybe hold this, go back, and then trade it through. But what if they don't? What if they lose this, all of this effort and start trading back in here? And as they're trading this edge, they try to get back and they can't get back into that range. There's a lot of late buyers. A lot of late buyers. Those are the ones who are the quickest to become sellers. So what happens then? If all of this volume decides, I'm going to be a seller along with all of these sellers that are pushing price, you've got like double barrel selling. That is how I identify potential liquidation. Flip this thing around, that's the short squeeze. The short squeeze would be both examples I went through today, right? This build here, this was a really big node on the day, and they got traded against. So these guys, the late shorts, the bottom sniffers, the low sellers, can't trust those guys, that's for sure. And if they're getting traded against, what do you think they'll do to you, right? Know who to trust. And it's not the late inventory at the highs and the lows that are in hot water, especially if it's sell side.
So on this note, Mark has asked a good question. Why is a low volume node so important as a potential entry?
Because everyone is hyper-focused on trying to figure out where the market wants to go. They don't spend enough time trying to figure out where it doesn't want to go. The low volume node tells you where it doesn't want to go. So if the low volume is on the downside, it's very important to try to get your entry there because the market is showing you through that structure, it's lacking interest in trading even lower. So what you want to do is get as close to the low volume edge as possible because the market doesn't want to go lower than that. Well, what does that mean? If you got longs from there, you're in a prime location where if the market does tick you out, hey, things are probably changing, right? But there's little to no interest in trading below there. So if you can identify where the market doesn't want to go, you can really choose a good spot instead of just chasing where you think the market wants to go. And now it's hard to manage the risk. Always find out where the market doesn't want to go first. That's why I say my trades, they are simply, I think the market touches this price before that price. The second price is where the volume is tapered because there's no interest there. They're going to go the other way. So that's the trade. That's how you frame the trade.
That's a great explanation. Where the market doesn't want to go. I love that you put it that way. All right, let's try our Sterling again. How do you measure your volume profile? I use fixed measurements from yesterday to gauge the range of today's price action.
Using it as range, I don't do that. I just use like a common ATR, right? You can use what I do is I have an average range, 10-day look back, average daily range, and what's today's range. Same way I use ATR for 1 minute, last 10 bars, what has been the range, and what's the average. So I keep it as simple as that. Nothing further.
Got it. Awesome. EJ asks, do you find that the market tends to revisit low value nodes to fill them?
I would say so, but there's context behind it too. Um, the market to me is just a series of made decisions. So let's try to find an example on here. This is a good one, I think. Yeah, so is this a low volume? Let's just say it is, right? Let's just say this is low, or yeah, this is low volume here, clearly. So as the market trades above this, very key, because it's really big volume, big implication. As they're trading and they're holding it, you can expect this volume to just be locked out because they're still interested in trading above it. And once they're not, then that's when you start to be like, okay, if the market is no longer interested in dealing up here and it starts to taper low volume spots, then it opens up this whole low volume area again for trading, because this didn't trade much because no one's willing to sell it, right? They're just buying through it. The sellers are like, hey, you got it. Not interested. We want these prices to sell, which is why it built here. But if now you want to sell, but higher prices aren't being offered anymore to sell, you got to sell lower. But it's not until that information shifts, everything shifts, then you can look for that fill. You should never just be like, oh, there's a low volume spot, I want to play for the fill. The market has to be done doing what it's doing when it made it in the first place. It made it in the first place because no one's willing to sell this range. And you can see what happens. Now they're trading higher, they're trading higher. Still, no one's willing to sell it. They're not even willing to sell this anymore. Look at how thin this is. Until these prices are completely off the table. Now, if you want to sell it, you got to sell this range. That's when they'll start to fill it out, right? You see it filling out, trading it again. So there's a difference. Wait for them to make the decision here, which leads to the next one. Then they'll make it there. Then they'll make it there. Then it comes down to, all right, if we're approaching that low volume spot again, it's time to make a decision. Are we willing to sell it this time? And if you see that they are, then you can play for that fill. Hope that makes sense.
Yep. Very, very awesome. Another chart question. Why is there a color difference on the vertical volume indicator, gray versus bright color? Maybe
Assuming
value
you're
area,
meaning,
non-value.
talking about this, value and outside of value. So value is lighter. So the value area is the lighter color. And when price is trading outside of the value area, the value area is 70% of the volume. If it's trading on the edges and the outsides, it's a darker shade. So this just helps me visualize if we are trading in value or outside of value.
Yeah. If you remember your high school algebra class, maybe not even algebra, it's that bell-shaped Gaussian distribution that everyone likes to see. Oftentimes it's not too bell-shaped sometimes, but that one standard deviation in the middle, that's technically just a little less than 70% of the total volume that's traded for the whole
It's like
profile.
68 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome question though. Appreciate that. Let's see here. We got about 6 more minutes. We got several more questions. And if I miss somebody, type it in again. But let's go to Giano. Can you show an example where you wanted to short at a point of control and then switched your bias?
An example where I want to short at point of control.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because opening a position at the point of control is not
I'm sorry.
something.
Point of interest, he said. My
Oh,
bad.
I see.
My
Oh,
bad.
all the time. Do it all the time. It's insane. And anyone who's been on these streams has seen me do it all the time, because those points of interest are key decision points where, to me, it becomes a binary decision. It's either we're holding this and we're moving up, or we're holding this and we're moving down. right? And if, let's just say, I don't know, let's just mark a friggin' spot. Oh, this. This would have been it today, right? If I'm looking to offer this, maybe I'll look to offer in this range. But if now it comes back up, stops me out, starts trading above and holding, I'm flipping right here. To me, all of my zones and levels, the places I plot on the chart, they are decision points where the market is going. I think they are going to make a directional decision, and that's where your edge has to lie. It can't be just a spot where you think there might be some sort of reaction. To me, it's a spot where the market needs to make a decision, right? So if it's going towards a low volume spot, they have to make a choice here. The choice is either to break this and start to trade through the low volume with new interest, or hold it, reject low volume, keep it as is, no interest, and then trade through. You have to find that your areas of interest are places where the market has to make a choice. It cannot be chopping around there, doing all this other shit. It's got to be making a choice. And so that's how I keep my trades, my equity curve intact. I'm not getting caught in these spots where the market's like, I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's those spots where, yeah, they're gonna make a directional choice here. And is the runway big enough for me to have a good risk to reward ratio on it?
Awesome. By the way, Abe, if you could type in, clarify what you mean by divergence. Are you talking about divergences between, as let's say, the E-mini S&P and the NASDAQ, or divergences within time frames? If you can clarify that, I can get that question.
Yeah. I haven't even said the word divergence, I think. So
Okay. Well, let's see what he comes back with. MEA asks, how does XYZ decide if it's a directional or range day?
that's a good one. The volume build. So let's find some examples. Geez. A range day is, let's say, even if price moves up or down, like directionally, it's still building this like D-shaped curve, right? Like this. I mean, look at the action. Look at the action surrounding this day. It's doing this, right? And you can see the market opens around this candle, and it's moving down. If you like really zoom out, you can see it's just going down. But it's not building new distributions really. It's just a D shape. And what do you look at the candles, they're all overlapping the same prices. It's super choppy. You can't really trust it. It's rangy, this and that, because it seems like the volume really just wants to transact in this spot. So if you get outside of value, which, hey, look, maybe here, it just goes back in and starts trading within it, right? Most of it is within it. Even later in the day, within it. Strong move builds nodes along the way. Like this. This is the opening candle around here, and it goes straight down. But what happens? Build, continue, build, continue, build, continue, build, build, build. So strong moves, downside in this example. Market's selling. Where are your bids? I'm hitting them all. Next, where are the next bids? Hitting them all. Next, where are the next bids? Hitting them all. That's what it builds into, right? And it's continuation, node, continuation. Everyone that's trying to catch a knife, you could just say like, hey, you're being nonsensical, because they're constantly building nodes lower, and you're guessing off of nothing that this is going to be the last downside node they build as they're continuously building lower. No, wait until they lose one at least. Surprise, they never do, right? Two very key differences. If the market is, seemingly going in a direction, but it's really iffy, look at how it's building on the volume profile structure. If it's a good move, hey, they're building nodes, next range, build that node, next range, build that node, get out of my way.
Very awesome. We're going to do one more question, and I saved this one. This was the first question we got. I saved it because it's really good, and it's probably deserves its own whole develop your edge session. But with a minute or so, Lito asks, can you talk about psychology and how to be more patient?
Right away, I think journaling. You have to track and journal. It's a do as I say, not as I do. I don't do it anymore because I'm lazy, and I would not advise anyone take that approach, but it's the truth. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. But it's also because I'm stuck in my ways. I've been doing the same thing for a long time, day in and day out. That's the reason I can sit here in front of you, and there has not been a single question that I had to pause before I answered. The answer, as soon as the question is dealt to me, the answer is in my head exactly how I would operate with it. That's how stuck I am on the system, how used to it, how comfortable I am, how ready I am to repeat it and nothing else. That's where you have to be. And how do you get there? You got to journal, you got to track, so that eventually you can see the trends. Like, oh yeah, I think this was a good setup, but in my journal it says it's pretty crap. I keep losing on it. It's net negative EV. And I've had so many friends who thought they had good strategies. After tracking it, they're like, this is actually straight garbage. This is so garbage. This thing's way better. I'm going to lean towards that. And you can spend less time trying to tackle so many things and more time finding out what's actually good and refining that instead. And then just doing it over and over until that's all you care to do. Questions that get brought to me, I have the answer. Like the way I would do it, I can tell you right away. Because I'm just doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's a great advice. I mean, you see me on streams. I have a pencil in my hand all the time. I take notes, whether it's Anthony Crudele saying something in the morning that sparks an idea or something important, or whether on stuff that you just said. I have a whole notepad of stuff that you just said, and then tomorrow morning before I do anything, I'm glancing through that and looking at those notes. And I do that. I've been doing that for we had buggies and carriages back when I started, so.
Yeah, I want to add too, like everyone is quick to assume that you have edge, maybe because you copied somebody's strategy that said, hey, this is my 16-hour strategy. I make a gazillion dollars on YouTube. But the discipline part, the mental part becomes way easier when you actually have an edge. I think most people assume they do, and the rest is just all mental game stuff, when it's really not the case. The mental game stuff is so hard because you don't really have an edge. You don't have anything you truly trust. Just because something works doesn't mean you mentally trust it to operate properly with it and not outside of it. But once you have something that you can quantify, which has to be through journaling, data tracking, stat tracking, it's easier to trust it, to want to do that and not want to do all the other stuff, which helps the mental discipline part, the patience part so much more because, let's be honest, the trade's there or it's not. It's that simple. You see Chris on stream, he's like, oh, my setup's not there. I'm doing nothing. Then, oh, what about this? He's like, setup's not there. There's nothing to do.
Yeah. Great stuff. Well, fantastic segment, XY. We are a little bit over. Really appreciate you being here with us today on Develop Your Edge. Real quickly, how do folks find you? A lot of questions we had about where do you get the tools you use and stuff like that. You mentioned Order Flow Labs. Is there a place where people can go and just find you? Is the X stream the
Twitter?
place?
Yeah, Twitter is the best. They have a YouTube channel, so. On Twitter, you'll see in the profile there's a link, like a link tree with all my other links. There's a free playbook. My YouTube has a bunch of free stuff. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. So go on there,
awesome.
go on my Twitter profile. I think is there a link in the description or something like that? Or maybe production can just throw it up. But all my links are on YouTube, are on Twitter. So
sounds good. And we'll do that again tomorrow. You're going to be here with us tomorrow. I'm not going to be here, but yeah. You're in great hands tomorrow. It'll be a great segment. Thank you, everybody, for participating in NinjaTrader Live, for the subscriptions, the thumbs up, the great questions. I apologize if I missed one. Cooper is still here. Cooper is the first in the chat this morning. You met Soap. So many of you guys were here at the very beginning and here at the end. We thank you very much for being part of our community. It's super awesome. XY, thanks again for your time. Let's give XY a round of applause, if we can, for doing this extra hour with us.
3 hours. 3 hours straight.
Love it, man. All right, listen, you have a great weekend, XY. I will see you next week.
No, you'll see me tomorrow.
Thank you for being here. Remember, most important message of the day, please be safe out there. Be good to each other. We'll see you soon.
See you, Jet.